Welcome to Atlantic City, New Jersey, the home of the MAAC Men's and Women's Basketball Championship. We've traveled over 200 miles to see a Fairfield rivalry. Welcome inside Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Logan Rundy, Ethan Hudson, right here with you this afternoon. We got two great teams. The Fairfield women's basketball team ended the season 25-4. And in addition to that, they're ranked number 25 in the country by the AP Top 25 poll. On the other side, you got a hungry Sacred Heart team that comes off an opening round win yesterday against St. Peter's. Fairfield led by Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, Katie Lamro. Ethan, what an incredible season she's had.
Logan, well, first of all, I just want to say I'm thrilled to be here with you. This really is MAAC basketball at its best. And you brought up Katie Lamro. I know you're a baseball guy, so I'm going to give you a baseball term.
All right.
Katie Lamro is a five-tool player.
Ooh.
She can shoot, she can score, she can pass, she can defend. And she's the MAAC Player of the Year for a reason. I expect her to be in her full game. This is where the moments matter the most. It's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. Well, let's check out who Katie Lamro is going to go alongside with. First team All-MAAC Megan Anderson will join her. Lethal three-point shooter Sydney Scott will be alongside her. Cyan Coes had an excellent year. Will be at the Roadrunner spot. Jill Herder, the Rutgers transfer, an elite three-point shooter. And, of course, Lamro will be in at the one. On the other side of things, you got sophomore standout Sophie Nascimento, the first year for Sacred Heart that's been absolutely unbelievable. Kept them in the game last week against Fairfield. They just played less than a week ago on Saturday. Then you have Sierra Johnson, who got into it with Katie Lamro. She's fiery. She's going to do a little bit of everything. Amelia Wood, excellent shot blocker, three-point shooter. And Elise Dudley coming off an excellent game yesterday, double-digit points. And Emma Kirby to anchor it down in the middle. It's going to be a great matchup. Even though it's a 2-7, people might think, oh, Fairfield's got this by a mile. It's going to be closer than people think.
No, it's going to be a great game. Logan, I had a chance to catch up with Meg Anderson last week. She said, listen, we know everyone's going to play their best ball at Boardwalk Hall, and that could not be more true. Fairfield cannot expect an easy game on their hands because they're not going to have one.
They're not going to have one, and you have a hungry team. Twice, Fairfield went to them back in January 31st, beat them at their place. Then Sacred Heart came in last week into Leo D. Mahoney Arena, was really competitive. 3 quarters of great, gritty basketball. Fairfield just got the edge at the end. Some free throw shooting, couple of shots that went their way, and that was it, right? 17 points might seem deceptive, right? But it really wasn't. Teams didn't really shoot the ball well. Defense was a high emphasis. It's going to be an excellent basketball game.
Yeah, it is. You make a great point. That final score was deceptive. 3 quarters without game was a battle. It was a game of hard-nosed, can't speak today, man.
That's all good, man. It's Friday.
Smash-mouth, physical basketball. I expect nothing less. You saw Fairfield actually out-rebounded Sacred Heart that game. They're going to have to do that again if they want to come out with a W.
And they will. And they got 2 great rebounders, Emma Kirby, Amelia Wood. They're excellent rebounders. Emma Kirby's right at 7 rebounds a game. You go down to Amelia Wood, who's had an excellent season. She's at 13 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, averaging 79% from the charity stripe and 32%. She's a 3-level scorer, excellent defender. Let me tell you, she's going to be a handful for those Stags.
She's going to be a handful. Listen, Cyan Co is going to have to really be on her game defensively. Going to have to box out, dive on those loose balls because, as you said, she's a force to be reckoned with in the paint.
Yeah, she absolutely is, and she can stretch the floor, which makes her so dangerous. And I don't think that Sacred Heart's intimidated by Fairfield. I think that they're one of the only teams that's not, right? You see a lot of teams kind of go outside of what they normally do, try to shoot more threes, try to match with Fairfield. Sacred Heart really just stays within their game and plays it the way they want to play it.
They do. This is a well-coached team. It's a really gritty team. You mentioned the chippiness last game. It did get chippy. There was a palpable sense of tension in Mahoney last week, and I only expect that to be increased now that we're in the MAAC tournament.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at our head coaches for Sacred Heart. Jessica Metti, 4 postseason appearances during her tenure in the NEC. This will be her first postseason appearance in the MAAC outside of yesterday. Led Sacred Heart to 2 straight NEC championships, back-to-back conference tournament appearances a couple of years ago. Then before Sue, she graduated as an assistant at Hofstra, and get this, 3-sport athlete: baseball, softball, basketball, softball, and volleyball.
Wow.
Then you take a look at Coach Carly Thibault Dudonis. Obviously, the names have been everywhere. She is looking for win number 100. Triple digits today.
Triple digits.
To get that against their crosstown rivalry. Ethan, 100 wins in just under 4 seasons. She hasn't even finished this one. She's averaging 25 wins a year. She's completely turned this program around.
Absolutely. I couldn't even put it into better words myself. She's been remarkable. I think a 100 win at the MAAC tournament would be a pretty sweet day for her, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. 100 wins, crosstown rival. Have the opportunity to play Sunday in the MAAC semifinal game. That opponent is determined, but what I can tell you is Quinnipiac just came in here and beat Manhattan. The two teams that are projected to be in the final are rolling so far. Fairfield coming off a ranking 25 in the country. Quinnipiac won emphatically just about 20 minutes ago. Who knows, though? These Pioneers can really pull up an upset. I've been telling people all week it could be an insane game. It could be crazy. I don't know what you're going to see. If it's anything like last game, you'll probably see just about everything.
You're right. I think we will see just about everything. You got to expect the unexpected at this tournament, right? That's what we've learned these past few years.
Well, let me tell you, I mean, the last time out, right, they came here back in March last year. The first 2 games, a little bit of heart-wrenching a little bit. It was scary. Mount St. Mary's came in and really played a good game. And then, weirdly enough, in the championship game, that was the best time that Fairfield played. They saw Quinnipiac last year beaten by double digits. So it's such an interesting dynamic. This gym is huge. For those that don't know, it's probably going to be at about a quarter capacity. And Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall is massive. Has 3 tiers of seating, courtside seating. The shooting angles can be weird. The vision, they put in bleachers this year underneath the south basket to actually improve the vision of shooters. Ethan, just kind of give me a layout of how big this place is and what can be difficult for players on the court.
Well, listen, big is an understatement. This place is huge. As a mere spectator, it's hard enough for me to find my seat. Okay, but like you said, they had the bleachers. That's to help with depth perception when shooting. I talked to Jill Herder last week, one of Fairfield's best three-point shooters. She said, yeah, it can be a little tricky in Boardwalk Hall. It's so wide and spread out that sometimes, your vision gets a little funky. But as she said, she made sure to say, everyone's dealing with that. That's not an excuse. We're still going to play our best brand of basketball.
Indeed, she is. Jill, when I talked to her last week as well, they almost scheduled a practice in here if they were able to on Wednesday to come a day earlier to adjust for that. They did not do that. They were able to practice back at Fairfield that day, and they came here yesterday and they practiced again. They did scout yesterday as well. They're ready to go here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. The national anthem and starting lineups will be next. We'll step aside. We'll see you in about 2 minutes. Welcome back to Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. We're just about ready to go here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Sacred Heart will be in their all-red uniforms today. Fairfield will be in the classic home whites for this classic matchup right here in the postseason. Welcome to March, ladies and gentlemen. Fairfield women's basketball here on WVOF in the MAAC quarterfinal. Welcome in to this massive arena, as we were just mentioning. Fairfield looks like they're going to go from east to west from our view and on your TV view as well if you're watching on ESPN+. Then Sacred Heart's going to go west to east. Same way, same deal. 3 officials today. We're just about ready to go here. Thank you for choosing WVOF. WVOF 88.5, that is. We've made the journey here. To our listeners that are across the seas here on spring break, happy spring break to you, to all of our parents, listeners. Welcome to March. Ethan, it's going to be fun, man. It's just, you just get that energy around this time of year. We were talking about it yesterday when we were in here for the men's game. We were watching our partners, Andrew Jamison, Kyle Scannell, got that game. We were watching. It was just such a fun atmosphere. Fairfield got the win, too, which is a little added bonus.
I mean, this is just going to be a blast. Well, what's not to like about March basketball? So you've got the Fairfield Stags playing, as you mentioned, Coach Carly looking for her 100th win of her career. I mean, listen, this game has history written all over, does it not?
It's got history all over it, but it's only the 12th time the teams have met, which is crazy. Being only, 8 miles away? Somebody fact-check me on that. I think it's only about 8 to 10 miles away. Sacred Heart spent so much time in the NEC, able to transfer over. They were just so dominant in the NEC. And over here in the MAAC, it only took them 2 years to not only make the tournament, but also win a game in the tournament as well. Fairfield's been here numerous times, but still, it's impressive both ways.
You're right. I mean, credit is due where credit is due. Sacred Heart, this program really has taken giant leaps forward, as you mentioned, these past few years. They really have become a respectable team in the MAAC extremely quickly, and Fairfield realizes that. They're going to play them tough.
They are going to play him tough. Meg Anderson, Jill Herder, Cheyenne Coe, Sydney Scott, and MAAC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, Katie Lamro. Cheyenne Coe will take the tip as she usually does. Sacred Heart breaks their huddle. Sierra Johnson, Elise Dudley, Emma Kirby, Amelia Wood, Sophie Nascimento. Tip will be taken by Kirby. Cheyenne Coe opposes her. We are just about ready to go. 10 minutes on the clock, 30 on the shot clock. Welcome to Atlantic City. Ball is up, and Cheyenne Coe wins the tip. Lamro will take it across the timeline, and we are underway here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Hand off to Jill Herder.
I expect Sacred Heart to stay in a man defense here. I want to force Fairfield off the three-point line.
Katie Lamro kicks. Sydney Scott hoists her first three-pointer from the corner. Misses. Anderson looked for the rebound. Brought down by Wood. Nascimento, the first year from Scarsdale, New York, takes it across the timeline. Over to Johnson, guarded by Herder on the right wing. Johnson looks like she wanted to drive. She didn't. Kicks to Nascimento at the top of the key. Gets the screen from Kirby. Kirby rolls off that screen.
Look.
Nice and easy. Up and over. Underhand layup is good by Emma Kirby.
Yeah, Nascimento's shoes leading assist. That you see right there why. It was a great entry pass.
Lamro looks, then out the three. Jill Herder knocks it down. Nothing but nylon. Katie Lamro's on the board early.
Nascimento right where she left off.
Nascimento goes the other way. Lamro will guard three-quarters court. Looking for an option. Bounces it to Dudley. Guarded by Coe, 35 feet away from the basket. Coe looks like to get a hand in the cookie jar. Lamro tried one more. Kicks it out. Sierra Johnson. Johnson drives inside, loses it temporarily, gets it back. Nascimento cuts, then goes out to the three-point line, looks at the shot clock, 10 seconds remaining. Nascimento looks for the screen from Kirby, refuses it. Euro steps inside, lays it up in a beautiful move by Nascimento.
That's 2 buckets right there that are way too easy for Sacred Heart.
Lamro gets it to Herder on the right wing. Three-point shooter gets it to Coe, who doesn't shoot the three. Top of the key with the ball. 5-out offense for Fairfield. Anderson steps back, three-pointer straight on right where Lamro had it. Same result. Three-pointer from Megan Anderson.
Yeah, Megan Anderson, she led the MAAC in three-point percentage for a reason. She is a sharp shooter, no doubt about it.
Offense is off to a hot start so far. Only one missed shot between the two teams. Wood looking to go on the smaller Scott. Hands off Nascimento. Herder on the drive. Beautiful bounce pass inside. Kirby lays it in. Just trading buckets. Lamro pushing the other way, looking for Nascimento. Herder guarded by Wood. Anderson looking to post up on Nascimento. She sees it. Anderson goes inside. Nascimento, no chance. Anderson lays it up. 5 early points.
Too easy right there. Too easy. That's exactly what Fairfield wants.
Nascimento takes it over the timeline for the fourth possession for Sacred Heart. 6-8 in favor of Fairfield so far. That's Dudley driving on Coe. Kicks it out. Lamro almost had the steal. Nascimento drives inside. Herder
that
went on the
help
cookie
defense.
jar. Scott found it on the floor. Jump ball favored to Sacred Heart, but excellent defense from the Stags early on.
Yeah, and that's all because of Jill Herder right there. I have to say, Jill Herder has improved so much from last year. She just looks way more confident out there. It looks like she knows her role much better, and her play has shown that.
Second year in the system. Transfer from Rutgers. Spent her first year there. Did not opt to take a gap year. Still was impactful last year, but much more comfortable, like you mentioned, Ethan, this year. Johnson will inbound. Nascimento gets it just before midcourt. Calling out a play, Jessica Minetti, the fourth year. Here's second in the MAAC. Kirby's got it at the top on the smaller Anderson. Looks to spin, does so. 8-foot jumper is good. Offenses are red hot to start it.
Red hot is right. That's a really impressive handle right there for her size.
Sydney Scott looking inside to go. Good defense by Johnson, but the jump ball once more. Sacred Heart does not get the possession this time. It'll go to the Stags. What a fun matchup it's been. Just 7 minutes and 13 on the game clock. 23 on the shot clock. Herder gets it inside. Coe off a screen from Sydney Scott, working on Kirby. Coe looking for options. Going to look to do it herself. 1-2 steps through. Oh, skip to my loose, Cyan Coe.
What a move. The left-handed finish right there. Hakeem Olajuwon-esque.
Oh, yeah. I think she'd like that compliment for sure.
I think she would.
Johnson takes it over this time, guarded by Herder. Lauren Beach will check in at the next stoppage. Wood working on Scott. Launches from 2 feet beyond the arc, and oh my goodness, nothing but butter from Amelia Wood. Katie Lamro drives behind the back dribble, working on Nascimento. What a battle this is going to be all day. She elevates, no foul. Wanted the call. Doesn't get it. Nascimento 5-4 the other way. Lamro does get back. Trailing the play. She goes inside, going up on Megan Anderson.
Great
She
key.
gets the block. At least Dudley gets it, and we're going to get another tie-up. This will be possession, Sacred Heart. Oh, my goodness. What a fun first 4 minutes and change. Holy smokes.
Already, yeah, less than 4 minutes gone already. How physical is this game? People already diving on for loose balls. We're getting blocks from Meg Anderson here.
Lauren Beach, Janelle Brown check in. Both seniors, one a graduate student. Nascimento looking inside to Kirby, does find her. Double team down low, kicks it out. Dudley three-pointer off the side of the backboard. Fairfield looks to push the other way with Lamro. Anderson is open, gets the basketball. 1-2 steps back, chooses better to shoot it. Finds Lamro at the top of the key. Lauren Beach on the Jim Wheeling Boardwalk Hall side. Looking for options. Lamro pops out and is free. Stagnant offense here from Fairfield. 5 out, gets a screen from Lamro. Brown driving with the right hand. Ooh, pretty finish. Janelle Brown after 0 points last time against Sacred Heart. Gets 2 on her first shot.
Good for her, and every Fairfield fan wants to see that from Janelle Brown.
Janelle Brown coming off that ACL injury just a year ago. Nascimento bounces to Johnson, up to Wood, 35-foot three. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Was that nothing but net?
She shot that from the hotel. Wow.
Lauren Beach, somebody that doesn't shoot the three-pointer, definitely won't see that one from the hotel. Lamro looking to try to match, and that's good. Oh my.
There we go. 3-point barrage right now.
Looking like the 2017 Golden State Warriors out here. Johnson looks to finish with an 8 feet kick to Nascimento. Traveling violation. Sierra Johnson couldn't figure it out. First turnover for Sacred Heart.
Yeah, Sacred Heart's going to have to be better about taking care of the ball this game against Fairfield. Their last outing against them, they had 20 turnovers. Definitely contributed to that loss.
Faith Pappas checks in, the senior, 5'11" from Long Valley, New Jersey, about 2 hours from Atlantic City. Megan Anderson guarded by Dudley. Beach at the top, then to Brown, one-handed catch, bounces inside. Anderson working on the smaller Nascimento. Tries to use her body, uses the elbow, but it's going to get called for the offensive foul. Nascimento, perfect positioning on defense.
I don't know. That was definitely a little Oscar-worthy to me. I don't know.
It was Oscar-worthy, don't get me
know.
wrong. However, I think as soon as you extend that elbow, it's pretty much a fair call. We're going to stay with you for all the media timeouts today. The only time we'll go away is at halftime. Ethan, let me just tell you, it is 14-15, advantage Fairfield, and we are halfway through one quarter. What an insane start.
I mean, like we talked about in the pregame here, we knew this was going to be a gritty, a hard-fought game, and it is. It really is. I mean, you see, let's be honest, Logan, these teams don't like each other very much.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. They're rivals, as you said, in proximity, and this is the MAAC tournament. Okay, you can't be friendly on the basketball court here, and they're not doing that.
Oh, not at all. I mean, they're taking 1-2 punch after 1-2 punch. Both teams are shooting 75% from the floor. No team has hit the free throw line. It's been clean. Very, very different from the last game. Pretty sure both teams were in the 30% at halftime. So many free throw trips. Fairfield was at the line 10 times in the third quarter. So far, it's been pretty clean.
Yeah, it has been a much cleaner game. Like you said, it is night and day compared to the last game. It feels like Fairfield's already hit more threes in this first 5 minutes alone than they did last game, and that's a good sign. Again, we saw Lamoureux is 2 for 2 on triples now. Meg Anderson's hit one. When Fairfield's hitting their threes, they are nearly unbeatable. Not just the best three-point shooting team in the MAAC, but one of the best three-point shooting teams in the entire country.
Agreed, and they're the best offense in the MAAC. But let me talk about Sacred Heart for a second. They had 4 3-pointers last Saturday. They already have 2 in the first 5 minutes. Just what an adjustment from Coach Minetti and her staff.
Yeah, she's a great coach, as you talked about, leading this team to become MAAC contenders. I mean, truly is remarkable. We got a lot more basketball to play, though. This is going to be a good finish.
That's going to be a great finish. And it feels like we're at halftime and we're in the third quarter. We were only the first 5 minutes. This is going to be probably the most fun 2 hours you can imagine. Just to get the scores straight, Fairfield up 15-14, led by Lamoureux and Anderson, who have combined for 11. On the other side of the coin, Kirby and Wood, Sacred Heart's 2 X-Factor players, have combined for 12 out of the 14 with an additional layup from Nascimento. That was early on, the first 2 points. Janelle Brown did not score last weekend. She is in the scoring column for the first time against Sacred Heart this year. It's just different things. You just got to get creative around this time of year. Coach Carly and her staff, her husband, Coach Blake Dudonis, Erica Johnson involved in there, Dom Lewis, our graduate student, just an excellent from top to bottom. It's been excellent all year. And then you look on the other side of the coin, where you got Jessica Minetti, her staff. They've competed in both games with Fairfield. The first time, it just took Jill Herder 18 points. They just couldn't get over the hump offensively. Last time, just literally ran out of gas on Fairfield's court. They've competed both times. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
They really have, and you have to give them credit there. They've given 100% effort every single time they match up with the Stags here. They're doing so thus far. You see here, Fairfield's coming out with the same 5.
Yeah, they're going to come out with Beach, Anderson, Jill Herder. I believe Janelle Brown is in there with Katie Lamoureux. Associate head coach Erica Brown gives instructions before the horn. Jessica Minetti's crew still in the huddle. They're about to break. Nascimento looks like she's going to come back out onto the floor with Kirby, Pappas, Dudley, Wood. And it looks Nascimento will stay with Dudley, Kirby, Wood, and Pappas. Sacred Heart will inbound from the C on the baseline underneath their own basket.
I like this press by Fairfield, aggressive press.
Full court press indeed. Then they lay off it. Lamoureux will continue to guard full court. Nascimento looking for options, looking for the dribble handoff with Pappas. Instead, she bounce passes it. Herder looked for the steal, couldn't get it. Pappas trying to drive inside. Dribble handoff on the outside right wing with Wood. Beach follows her every step of the way. 10 on the shot clock. Pappas gets it with 6, 5, lays it up at 4, and knocks it in.
Yeah, that's just way too easy right there. You can't let her go baseline on you.
Oh, free area like Ethan mentioned. Lamoureux brings it up. Janelle Brown on the right wing. Flare screen. Brown does not use it. Right hand. Oh, 4 quick points for Janelle Brown. Looking to have one of those games she had in that MVP season.
This is looking like vintage Janelle Brown right now.
Janelle Brown missed all of last year, including Atlantic City. The last time she was here was that MVP season. Wood looks to launch again. That one's going to be too strong. Almost wedgied. Lamoureux gets the rebound right into her arms. Sacred Heart gets back. Lamoureux looks to push. Pulls up three-pointer top of the key. In and out. The rim's not favorable to her on her first missed three-pointer. Nascimento will go the other way. Looking to guard on the smaller Lamoureux. Nascimento finds options with Kirby at the free throw line. Jab step by Kirby. Lamoureux trying to put it away, and she didn't. Wood looking to drive on Beach. Gets to her spot, lays it up. Rim not favorable to her either. Janelle Brown looking to use her speed to push the other way. Instead, Pappas will trip her up about a quarter of the way down the court. Milou Van Fleet, the first year from Barendrecht, Netherlands, will check in for Fairfield. Sacred Heart will return Sierra Johnson. Missy Nuku will check in for the first time. The junior guard from New Zealand. She's been excellent as of far. Essentially kept them in with Nascimento last weekend. Lamro will stay with the basketball after Beach's inbound. Nellie Brown up to Lamro. Beach sets a great screen. Lamro to find some availability against Nuku, but stays with her all the way. It looks like Lamro got hit, and she did.
She did. She got whacked by Nascimento.
Whistle blows. Looks like Nuku will pick up the first personal foul. That'll be Sacred Heart's second foul. Lamro will go to the line for 2. Lamro's been an excellent free throw shooter this year. She gets there often. Lamro, an 89.6% free throw shooter, hoists the first and misses the front half. Definitely the announcer's jinx there.
Yes, it was. It's all right. Yeah, like you said, though, Lamro's an elite free throw shooter, led the MAAC in free throw percentage this year.
Lamro second. The righty gets you right through.
That looks more like it.
18-16, 3:12 remaining here in the first quarter here at Jim William Boardwalk Hall. Johnson looks to drive on Von Fleet, bounces out to Wood. Herder wasn't seeing the basketball. Instead, she gets the steal instead after Wood is out of control. 5-on-4 the other way. Herder loses it. Looks for an option. Lamro fakes the three-pointer. Kicked out all the way to Brown on the left wing. Great balance on one foot. Herder cuts inside, then gets out Von Fleet, top of the key, off the side of the backboard.
That would have been look, though.
It is, absolutely. Missy Nuku will push the other way. Nuku looking for options. Great screen by Johnson. Back to the basket still, then squares. Looking for options in the paint. Avoids the 3-second call. Gets it out to Wood. Good defense by Lauren Beach. Forces another miss, but Kirby gets the rebound. Then Nuku. Pappas looking for options. Hesitates inside and carries the basketball. Second turnover for Sacred Heart.
I just have to say, Lauren Beach does such a good job of contesting without fouling. She moves her feet so well. I mean, Logan, you and me have both sat in on Fairfield basketball practices. How much of an emphasis is there on defensive slides? How many times have we seen them practice that?
So many. It's just the rotation. It's not and early in the year, they were not good at it. They were getting guards, get it posted on post players. They were not rotating well. They look great to start the game here as the travel is forced by Lauren Beach. She checks out. Sydney Scott will check back in. The senior from Pennsylvania. Cyan Coe looking to do it herself against Kirby. Gets to her spot, follows through, off-balance shot, missed. Good defense by Kirby. Nuku takes the other way. Overhead bounce pass to Dudley. Looking to go inside, lays it up, off the side of the backboard. Coe gets the rebound, and Lamro slows things down. Lamro up to Brown. Iverson dribble inside. Sydney Scott on the right wing. Von Fleet kicks out. Then to Cyan Coe. Not a three-point threat. In fact, 0% on the year. Janelle Brown looking to hoist it inside.
Miscommunication right there. And Delay was not ready for that pass.
And too high. Von Fleet just not on the same page with Brown. They really haven't played much together this year. Nuku will get the inbound, 16-18 in favor of the designated home team, Fairfield. Nuku over to Pappas, guarded aggressively by Janelle Brown. Going inside, Von Fleet deflects it away. Coe and Dudley fight for it. Dudley wins that battle, gets hit, no foul call, and missed the shot. Pinball machine here in Atlantic City, and Lamro pushes the other way. 5-on-4 going the other way. Lamro behind the back dribble. Shovels to Von Fleet on the left wing, up at the top of the key with Lamro. Then goes right wing to Janelle Brown. Janelle Brown looking to do it herself. Between the legs, she loses the basketball as well. Little sloppy here. Von Fleet on the left wing. Then kicks to Lamro with 11 on the shot clock. Up fake and go from Lamro and gets hit by Pappas.
If you're Fairfield, you want to get Sydney Scott involved maybe. Drive and kick for Sydney Scott 3, as you talked about. She stroked the 3 ball very well this year.
Sydney Scott, 3-and-D player out of Marshall. She transferred here a couple years ago. Ethan, you're right, 36.8% from the floor. That is one of the team best. And then from 3, she's right around that mark as well. Lamro looking for the 3, up fakes with the head with Dudley. 8-foot floater is good. She has every move you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, she really does. That hesitation is so hard to guard because guess what? You have to respect her 3-point shot.
Have to respect it. Nascimento certainly didn't, nor did Dudley. Trying to go 2 for 1 here if you're Sacred Heart. 14 seconds separate the game and shot clock. Looks like they're going to carry out the possession. Nascimento thought about the 3. Nuku working on Brown, a tenacious defender. Nuku kicks. Johnson with 8 on the shot clock. Then steps back on Anderson. Then decides to drive. Spin move. Looks for Kirby. Beautiful bounce pass inside and is foul. Sacred Heart will take their first trip to the free throw line. Patience was the name of the game for the Pios.
Yes, it was. Sacred Heart is also one of the better free throw shooting teams in the MAAC too. So they don't leave points at the line.
Emma Kirby will go to the line. Not an excellent free throw shooter, 61.7%. Kirby launches and makes the front half of 2. Kirby wears 10 in red for the Pioneers. Sydney Scott will join the mix. Fairfield didn't have all 4 women in there. Now they do. Kirby trying to make it a perfect trip to the line, and she does. 18-20 in favor of the Stags. Final shot for Fairfield. Looks like they're going to take it. 12, 11, 10. Brown up with it at 9, 8, 7, 6. Gets the Lamro screen at 5, 4, 3. Brown's got a hoist 2, 1. Elevates with a half a second remaining and misses after a great first quarter. The possession for Fairfield, not a good one. One-on-one isolation did not go well and gives Sacred Heart another life here at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, listen, Logan, 20-18 score. We knew this game was going to be close. It's going to continue to be close. Fairfield right now, I like how they're playing. I like how both teams are playing, to be quite honest with you. A lot of energy here, a lot of physicality. How many tip balls have we seen? A lot. So that I can only expect that energy to be more emphasized as we go into the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like both teams have kind of settled down a little bit. Sacred Heart didn't score a field goal in the last 4 minutes and 27 seconds of that period. They're still shooting 50%. Fairfield has quieted down a little bit. They're at 57%. So again, not excellent shooting, right? It's pretty good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's not 75% good. The defense has picked up. Both teams have settled in a little bit. This should be a great 30 minutes to end this thing. Just here at immediate timeout at the end of the quarter here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Both teams off to a red-hot start. Fairfield is the 2 seed. They will have tomorrow off no matter what if they were to win the ball game. If they lose, obviously, they're out of the tournament. It is a one-and-done style. Sacred Heart is in the same situation. They played yesterday and won. If they win again today, they'll be off till Sunday for the semifinal.
And you wonder a little bit, because Sacred Heart played yesterday, if that fatigue might catch up with them later in the game. I mean, these are, as we've seen, these are hard games, right? People are sweating, people are red-faced. You got to have a lot of cardio to do this.
Absolutely do, and I'll tell you one thing, I definitely don't have it.
Neither do I.
There's a reason they're D1 athletes for sure. Sacred Heart only rolled with 7 women in the rotation yesterday, so again, you make a great point. Very strict on the rotation. Do we dip in, if you're Sacred Heart, to some of the players that don't always play a ton? For example, like Jordan Schrecker. She doesn't play a ton. She's at 10 minutes a game, but still might give you a couple minutes here and there. Diane Crespo-Lopez at 8 minutes a game, just a couple minutes. She can fill in for Kirby or Wood. It's just a matter of who's fresh and who is not. And I'm sure the recovery is excellent, but at the same time, it does take a toll. They traveled the day before as well. Fairfield actually traveled on Thursday morning, got here, stayed the night Thursday and Friday. Thursday, they practiced here yesterday, and obviously they played here today. So again, it's a little bit different. It's not an easy bus ride. We did it yesterday. It was around 4.5 hours with traffic. So again, that does take fatigue. It's not something you would think about every day, but it does take some toll on your body. Fairfield looks like they're going to come back with their starting lineup. Jill Herder looks like she's getting checked in. Megan Anderson will come back as well. Sid Scott, Cyan Coe. I would assume either Lamro will see her soon. It looks like Janelle Brown's going to start the second quarter, which is not something she does very often, at least anymore, here in her 6th year.
Yeah, well, Janelle had a good first quarter there. Went 2 or 3 on field goals there. Had a couple steals. I like that move by Carly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just to get her some rhythm, right? She's playing in spurts, especially on minutes restrictions. We talked to her the other day. The knee is still bothering her a little bit. She's just purely pushing through it. You got to respect the grit and the grind just for this university and this program. Something she's done for all 6 years. Sydney Scott will be out there with Janelle Brown, Megan Anderson, Coe, and Jill Herder. Coach Minetti will roll out Nascimento. Missy Nuku will stay out there. Johnson, Dudley, and Wood. Brown will start it crossing the timeline, guarded by Nuku. Herder has not got involved yet, but she's been impactful in spacing the floor. Maybe she'll get involved now on the left wing three-pointer, and she does.
And how about that? Announcer jinx. Did she hear you? Did she hear you? She must have heard you.
I hope she did.
She must have heard you. That was smooth.
For reference here, I'll explain where we're at here. at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall in his second, but now we got Johnson working with Wood, a little two-woman game at the top. Johnson looking inside. Dudley working on Anderson. Does a good job to fend her off. Nascimento and Brown both hit the floor. It's going to be a block on Brown, and she's absolutely emphatic. Looks like just the legs got tangled up. Always going to be called on the defender, more
Yeah,
than
you're
likely.
right. That's totally true. It's hard to call that anywhere else.
So for your reference here, if you're watching on TV or if you're just listening on the radio, if you're listening on the radio, we're about a section up, probably about, I don't know, call it 75 feet from the floor. Good level here. They got us in a good spot here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. If you're watching on TV, just above that main camera you're looking at. Anderson forces a turnover on Johnson on the inbound pass. Good energy from the Stags out of the out-of-bounds play.
Yeah, and part of the reason why Fairfield, as I said earlier, is able to win that Sacred Heart game is because they forced turnovers and they capitalized off those turnovers. 16 points off turnovers last game. They have to do that again today.
Indeed. Sydney Scott has it on the left wing. Beautiful bounce pass inside to Coe, who double-teamed for a second. Brown looking to get hot from three. In and out. Rebound goes to Brown temporarily, and the official says it was last touched by the sixth year.
I like that confidence from Janelle Brown, though, to square up and shoot that thing. It's a good shot.
Not necessarily a great three-point shooter after that injury. However, not terrible so far this year. Able to knock a couple of down during this season. Nascimento will start it at the top. Janelle Brown so far is a 35% three-point shooter. Dudley has it on the elbow, the left one that is. Johnson looking to drive inside on Anderson. Great defense, good attention to detail from Anderson. Johnson has nowhere to go. Finds Nisimuku with 5 to go. 4, 3's got to elevate. Good defense by Coe. Steps through and a shot clock violation. Back-to-back possessions and turnovers.
How about Cyan Coe guarding all positions right there?
Yeah, 1 through 5. She's been excellent as Lamro's going to check back in for Janelle Brown. So Janelle Brown starts the quarter in about a minute and a half in. She's out right away. Cyan Coe bounces to Lamro. Coe's been an absolute stud. Second team All-MAAC this year. Anderson pushes, finds Coe inside, working on Dudley.
And I like this matchup right here. Got to go to work here, Coe.
Rips through, back to the basket, step through. Almost had it, had everything but the finish.
She has a patent on that step through. Wow.
Ooh. Dudley pushing the other way. Looking for options. Nuku, dribble handoff at the top, guarded by Anderson. Anderson's guarded 3 different women on 2 possessions now. Nuku finds Nascimento. Looking to drive. She does. Lamro, she wanted to step through. Instead, scoops up and under in a beautiful finish by the first year.
She is so crafty. She reminds me a little bit of a John Wall, honestly, with some of these finishes.
John Wall, the former Washington Wizard. Johnson pushing the other way. Then looking for options. Then finds Nuku. He's quieted so far, Missy Nuku is. A 1 foul and no points. Guarded by one of the best defenders in the MAAC and Megan Anderson. Instead, Johnson gets it through on the defensive player, Lamro. Nuku, blocked by Anderson. Anderson looking to go the other way. Hesitates, elevates, boom. It's in the basket.
Textbook example of turning defense into offense right there by Meg Anderson. Wow. She sent that weak stuff way back.
Nuku, guarded by the defensive player of the year in Lamro. Right wing to Johnson. Uses the Dudley screen. Johnson thought about elevating, then finds Nuku, guarded by Lamro now. 5-on-5, 5-out defense, and an offensive set for Coach Minetti's team. 7 seconds once more on the clock. 25-20. Nascimento's got to get it from the corner, too strong. Batted around 3 times, ends up in Lamro's hands.
And Sacred Heart took way too long to get into their set there.
It's been a consistent theme so far. Lamro trying to not do the same. They get into it quick with Coe. And a foul's going to be called the other way. It looks like Lamro had Lamro tripped Johnson to force her to get into Coe. It was a little hard to see, but from up here, it does look like a foul. Tough break. Not really something you're too worried about if you're Coach Carly Tebow Dudonis, but it gets a free possession for Sacred Heart. Pioneers have taken a long time to get into their sets, about 15 to 20 seconds. Got to be quicker, down 5 here with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. Nascimento skips it over to Wooden. Wooden kicks it all the way over to Nuku. One more Nascimento. Beautiful offense. Can they finish it with a 3? In and out. Toilet bowled around, and Herder's going to push the other way. Anderson. Oh, what a look. Gets it out, and another turnover. Johnson that time picked it off.
That was a great look by Jill Herder. Anderson just couldn't handle it quite cleanly.
Herder saw the whole way. Nuku trying to convert on the turnover. Finds Dudley, who gets positioning inside. Herder came over, did not get a hand on it, but affected the shot. Herder's been all over the place. then tries to push it, and a foul gets called on Amelia Wood, and Herder sells it.
Things are starting to get chippy again. You can feel it. Both these teams will do anything it takes to move on.
Anderson will check out. Campbell will check in. Allie Campbell will check in for the first time. Limited minutes this year, but she's been excellent in her time in the game. The transfer graduate student from one of the best schools in the Big Ten in Penn State. Campbell at the top gets her first touch. Her touch goes to Beach on the bounce pass. Then gets it to Dudley, bounce to Lamro, followed by Nuku every step of the way on the right wing. 15 on the shot clock, 5:40 on the game clock. Campbell, between the leg dribble, gets it to the three-point shooter Scott. Nascimento knows that. Good defense. Top of the key to Lamro with 7, 6. Lauren Beach sets the screen at 5, 4. Lamro crosses over, and a kickball violation is going to bail out the Stags, who only had a second to hoist.
Yeah, but if you're Fairfield, that's not what you drew up right there, right? A lot of dribbling, not a lot of good movement, not a lot of intentional passes in that possession. Got to come out with something a little more crisp here.
Indeed. Very stagnant, as you mentioned, Ethan. They do get a fresh 20 seconds, though. Lamro, one to Sydney Scott. Bounce pass inside by a great roll by Beach, looking to get in her bag. Elevates and gets the foul, does not finish. That will go on Dudley. She'll pick up her first.
But I love when Lauren Beach is aggressive, right? Like you said, she doesn't shoot the ball a lot, but she knows what a good shot is, and she takes them.
Absolutely does, and it's been a huge element that's been added to her game. When she came here, it was not there. Lauren Beach, a 76.5% free throw shooter. Now, when I talked to Coach Blake Dudonis at the beginning of the year, he said, we want Lauren Beach to be a scorer as she knocks down the first free throw. Beach is somebody that can move off the ball, she can cut, and what an addition she has been this year, especially at the end of last year. She did not score the ball, but she's given them a couple baskets game right at 3.8 points. Those are difference makers sometimes. A couple of free throws at the charity stripe will be a difference maker as well. Nuku trying to rebound off of the 2 free throws. Dudley drives on Beach, who sticks with her but loses her footing a little bit. Nascimento trying to elevate on Lamro. Instead drives into her patented bag. 4-foot floater too short off the front iron. Lamro pushes the other way. Lamro eyes up, thought about giving it to Beach, did not. Instead tries to take it herself. Her free throw line, Jay, rattles around and goes through. Lamro's feeling it early.
She is so good at creating space off the dribble like that. You saw that hard drive, hard dribble, pull up, unguardable. 9 points
so far for the junior, as Amelia Wood has it on the left wing. She's looking for options. Dudley's not moving. Lamro, swiper, no swiping, does swipe instead. Foul, except they're going to call a jump ball, and it's going to be possession to Sacred Heart on the other side of the media timeout. It picked up a little bit there. Lamro's been all over the place. Jill Herder has guarded everyone. Some trends, though, for Sacred Heart that are not in the right direction.
No. Listen, Sacred Heart shooting 42% from the field right now, only 29% from 3. That's going to be really hard to beat a Fairfield team who's currently shooting 56% from the floor and 50% from 3. But I'm not going to stop there. The most impressive thing this game for me for Fairfield has been their defensive energy. Again, like we just saw right there, causing turnovers, causing tie-ups. That is what wins games, especially in the MAAC tournament.
Absolutely. It just seems like Fairfield is a step ahead of everything, right? You saw Lamro. She knew exactly what Wood was going to do before Wood knew what she was going to do. Just an excellent scout here. Coach Eric Johnson did the scout for this game. What an excellent job he's done so far this year. And it just seems like it gives Fairfield an edge in the little margins of the game. And that's why they're so good. Right here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall, Sacred Heart only trails by 9 as much as Fairfield has played well. Lamro leads the way with 11. For Sacred Heart, Emma Kirby has 8 points. Wood has added 2 3-pointers to add to her day as well. Got to get other people involved. Missy Nuku, who has struggled so far, has been good against them this year. However, just is not able to find some separation. Lamro's been hounding her, but the biggest thing I've seen from Fairfield is they're giving each player from Sacred Heart different looks every time down the floor.
Yes, definitely true. And that's intentional, right? It's part of the scheme Coach Carly and her coaching staff comes up with before these games. Each team is different. Each team requires different prep. And we see Fairfield right there has got it down for Sacred Heart.
A little bit of an advantage. Sacred Heart only had about 24 hours to turn it around and scout for Fairfield, even though they played them just this past weekend. Fairfield has not played a game since they played Sacred Heart on the 28th of February. So again, huge advantage to be able to scout. Not necessarily you knew who was going to win yesterday, but you knew Sacred Heart well already. It's just giving you an extra advantage. Not sure how they scouted it, but they could have scouted it a little bit earlier in the week as well, giving both teams in St. Peter's a scout as well. But just with the team you're so familiar with, it does give you an advantage. But also on the other side, with Sacred Heart, you're familiar with them as well. Could give you an advantage. Maybe not necessarily in this quarter. It's gotten away from them a little bit. But coming out in the second half definitely could as well.
And Logan, as good as the basketball has been this break, can we talk about how good the music
it's good, man.
Has been?
We've been talking about it, and I think it's just a good vibe. We were talking about one of the things that Sacred Heart does well outside of basketball is they travel extremely well.
Do.
We were looking, so their Sacred Heart band is to the left of our table up here on Media Row. They probably have 35 band members and probably 20 cheerleaders and dancers for each team. So what's the math? Give me some quick math on that. 75?
I believe you're right.
75? It looks like they're just all over the place. We've got a good crew as well.
We do.
Some of our band members have traveled. Both dance and spirit squads have traveled as well. Just a fun atmosphere to be on here to start the weekend, Friday afternoon matinee. This tournament will go all the way through Tuesday with the MAAC Men's Basketball Championship will be at 9 p.m. on Tuesday night. Both these teams looking against the Women's Championship, which is at 6 p.m. on Monday night. Johnson will be out there with Wood, who has the basketball right now, Nascimento, Dudley, and Kirby. Lamro, Anderson, Beach, Herder, Brown for the Stags. Nascimento drives, looking to kick it out. Brown had her hands all over it. It looks like it hits. It looks like that's going to be a shot clock violation regardless. Janelle Brown, excellent hustle as she jumped into the bench. I believe the shot clock bailed them out because that would have been overturned, I believe, to Sacred Heart basketball.
Yeah, and Janelle Brown, man, she just plays with so much heart, so much pride. Again, you have an injury like hers, it'd be so easy to hang your head, but she has not at all.
Not at all. Jill Herder pushes between the leg dribble. Anderson gets free for a second. Wood's going to get a kickball violation. It'll stay at 22 on the shot clock, 4:11 on the game clock. Stags lead the Pios by 9, 29-20 with 4:11 remaining here in the first half. Anderson looking to drive, skip pass over. Lamro looked to elevate. Johnson did make contact with her. Lamro fights through it twice and elevates against Wood, who is fouled, did not convert on the basket. Lamro will head back to the charity stripe for her second trip.
Such a great attack by Lamro. She has such a quick first step. It's so hard to guard. As we see now, Fairfield has a chance to extend this to an 8-0 run now. Sacred Heart, as you mentioned, and a major score. Haven't scored in the last 4 minutes. It's not going to get done against the Stags.
Lamro just shy of 90% from the line on the season, 89.6%. Talking with the officials. Feels as if she got hit first. Got the benefit of the call in the end. Lamro trying to convert on her free throw. She knocks in free throw number 1 and elevates the lead to double digits. She's leading the Stags with 12 so far, and most importantly, she's only picked up 1 foul. Couldn't get the second one to roll. Dudley will pick up the rebound. She's looking to push with Johnson the other way. 5-on-5 on the half court. Johnson trying to go all the way to the cup. Herder says no way and gets inside and forces Johnson out to the left wing. Then finds Dudley on the left corner. Kirby posts up inside. Good deflection from Megan Anderson. 3-on-3 in transition. Herder looking to drive. Kicks it out. Anderson, who thought about the three, now will take it. Front iron and bounces in. Shooter's touch. Timeout. Sacred Heart.
Shooter's touch indeed. Now Fairfield, largest lead of the game, 13 points. And this is where Sacred Heart, this is where it can start to slip away. Against a really dangerous team like Fairfield, you have to do something and try to minimize the bleeding here. And if you're Fairfield, what am I going to say? Fill in the gas, obviously. 13 points, they want to be up by 26 points. It's not enough.
Absolutely, especially in this tournament. March can get pretty crazy around here. One of the things I'm realizing is the assist numbers are way low. It's a lot of one-on-one isolation. This is for both teams. The Pios have 6 assists. The Stags only have 4 assists on 12 made baskets, which is not something you really see from them at all.
Not at all. That is surprising you mentioned that, because Fairfield, I believe they average around, 18 assists as a team per game?
It's just under 20, I believe.
Okay, yeah, and Lamro, obviously the leading assist leader in the MAAC, so you're right, that is surprising, but it just goes to show, in MAAC games, things change. You can't, there's nothing you can guarantee.
Both teams send out the same lineups, just a 30-second timeout from Coach Minetti. Nascimento will carry it across the timeline with 3.5 remaining. Kirby Looking to dribble handoff. Instead, one-handed pass about 5 feet to Dudley on the right wing, who turns around, goes back to that right wing after going to the center. Dudley trying to look for an option inside. Chest pass up to Johnson with 9 on the shot clock. Johnson looking to drive on the smaller Herder. 1-2, trying to step through. It's going to be an air ball. Dudley's got to put it up to avoid the violation. Does, and it is a shot clock violation. Great defense from the Stags.
Yeah, listen, Logan, I'm gonna be brutally honest here. This Sacred Heart offense is looking dismal right now.
It is looking dismal. They're on a big drought, 4 minutes and 17 seconds and counting. Lamro trying to pull away. She's leading the charge so far with a dozen points. Brown trying to get to her bag. Looks like they're going to get a foul. That will go on Johnson. Johnson will pick up just her first personal, and it will be a shooting foul for Janelle Brown. Very generous call by the official, in my opinion.
I was going to say, I was about to ask you, was that on the floor or was that shooting? What do we think?
2026, it's shooting.
Yeah, true. Good point. Good point.
Janelle Brown, the graduate student from Middle Island, New York, 63% free throw shooter, beats the odds that time, knocks it in for first one, trying to get the pair here. Janelle Brown up to 5 points after she was silenced last Saturday. Sacred Heart Band making a lot of noise, trying to get Brown to miss. Unfazed, though, is nothing but nylon. Elevates the lead to 15. Pioneers looking to stop the bleeding. Cyan Coe will check in at the next stoppage as Johnson for Sacred Heart gets across the timeline looking for Missy Nuku. Instead, gets Nascimento involved. Kirby thought about the shot from 18, did not elevate with it. Johnson gets the handoff instead, goes to the left. Nuku thought about the 3 crossover dribbles pretty against Lamro. Anderson picks her up, elevates over Anderson, and gets the shot to go 22-35 in favor of the Stags.
That was a tough shot right there.
Lamro trying to answer. Anderson thought about it, steps back, now elevates off the front iron. Back to Matt. Good possessions from the Pioneers. Can they make it happen on the other end in terms of offense? Brown, good defense on Nuku. Cooked out to Nascimento, pretty behind the back dribble, elevates with the right hand and gets it to roll. What a pretty move from Nascimento.
I put some English on that one. Wow. Lamro defended that well, too.
Really did. Just nothing you can do. Better offense. Lauren Beach trying to post up on Kirby.
I like this.
Looking to elevate. She steps through and couldn't finish. The momentum has shifted. Nascimento going the other way with it. Inside out dribble, then drives, trying to get all the way to the cup, kicks to Dudley, who gets inside. Spacing not good for Sacred Heart, as they had 3 women on this one side of the floor. 17 on the shot clock, 1:37 on the game clock. Johnson thought about firing, she does not. Hurt her good defense in that athletic stance. Trying to post up inside. Nuku thought about the 3, step back from the wing. No good, but it's going to be a foul on Janelle Brown on the floor. At least Dudley could box out. Brown out of position. Just Brown's, looks like it's going to be her second personal.
And I like that Coe's coming back in now, try to, you see, like you said, energy started to shift a little bit on these last 2 possessions. Coe can help minimize some of that damage down low.
Coe's been good so far. Johnson will be the inbounder. Just a reversal play, essentially. Nascimento was the number 1 option. Kirby was the second. Kirby got it, then to Johnson, then to Nascimento. Nascimento trying to work with 1:15 remaining here in the first half, guarded by Anderson as she switched on. Missy Nuku gets Sydney Scott to fly by her. Inside Kirby. Coe gets the rejection. Going the other way is Coe. She's going to take it. Looking for Lamro or a ball handler. She takes it herself.
And she can handle.
She looked like she was going to kick it out. Instead, turns it over. Instead, Herder goes in the air. Nascimento flies right by her. 4-4 in the transition. Nascimento looks to elevate and fire. She does not. She gets it to Nuku. Nuku, beautiful crossover on Coe. Gets by her temporarily. Coe finds her defense again. Dudley looking to elevate from 8 feet. Too strong. Herder looking to push the other way. Maybe a 2-for-1. Looks like they are going to hold for the possession. Inside Coe. Beautiful positioning by Coe to get it inside. And Nuku will pick up her first personal. Her second.
That's a high IQ play right there by Jill Herder. She knew that Coe was probably either going to get fouled or get an easy layup, so she gave her the ball anyway. I like that.
Indeed, Coe will go to the charity stripe, an area where she has struggled this year so far. Improved as of late, but her yearly average is one of the things she does need to improve upon, right at 37.5%. Was not bad last weekend, however, that is the big thing. She's been shooting free throws in practice a lot. They've been giving that opportunity to her. And it looks like it's been paying off, but just in and out.
Halfway down and out right there.
Former 4-sport athlete, hockey, soccer, gymnastics, and of course basketball. one of 3 players in Division I that's averaging over 8 points a game and making 2/3 of her baskets. The second one misses as well. Lauren Beach was the last to touch it. Momentum has shifted just a little bit here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. 5.5 seconds separate the game and the shot clock. 30 seconds on the game clock, 25 on the shot clock. Nascimento will take as much time as she can. Dribbling on Lamro, finding options. Nuku has been her option all day. That is who the basketball will end up with. Dudley looking to work with 15 on the shot clock. Crossover on Anderson, who lost it temporarily. Top of the key, 4 cross set from Sacred Heart. 7, 6, 5, 4. Nuku's got to operate at 3, 2, doesn't see the shot clock. 1, and look to elevate, but great defense by Lamro.
That's just suffocating defense by the entire Fairfield 5 out there. And you see Coach Carly getting hype right there, as she should.
Offensive substitution, Jill Herder, the three-point shooter, will come in for Beach with 4.4 remaining. This will be inbounded on the baseline, so they have all 92 feet to go. No press, so this could be rolled out if it wanted to be. It's a triangle formation for the Stags. Cody inbounder. She gets it right back to Herder. 3, 2. Herder's got to fire 1, and it's blocked. What a block by Nascimento to end the period and put an exclamation point on the final 2 minutes from the Pioneers. Ethan, what a fun first half. Looked like the Stags were going to pull away with it. Up 15. Sacred Heart goes on a mini 4-0 run at the end of the quarter to change some momentum.
Yeah, listen, Sacred Heart responded very well to getting punched in the throat, okay? They came back with more energy. They found a way to get the ball in the basket, and at the end of the day, that's the main goal, obviously. But look, if you're Fairfield right now, you're up by 11. You're definitely not upset with your performance, but you know you could be better. You know there's some things we could improve upon. Like we talked about before, maybe some better possessions, some more moving the ball. We've seen a lot of dribbling sometimes. Going to have to be a little more intentional with our offensive sets coming into this second half.
Absolutely have to be intentional. Held the Pioneers to just 37% shooting after in the first 5 minutes. Had them up at 75%. In terms of the Stags' offense, they're up to 52% on the day as well. They've also knocked in 45% of their three-pointers. If you're Coach Minetti, there is emphasis. There's a lot of things to fix, but is the three-point line a point of emphasis for her defense as well as her momentum?
Yeah, well, listen, absolutely. Again, Fairfield is so good that they're going to make three-pointers no matter how good you guard them. But like we saw some Lamro threes, some Anderson threes. 2 good looks. You can't leave those guys open, all right? You're asking for trouble. That's a recipe for disaster. So if I'm Coach Minetti, I'm saying, guys, we have to guard man. As soon as your man crosses half court, you got to be on them like white on rice.
Yeah, you got to be on them, and you got to be on them quick. And something that Sacred Heart did in the last game, they did it early and then they went away from it, is the zone. How do you think the zone could be impactful here in the second half for that Fairfield offense?
Well, listen, quite honestly, for a zone, if Sacred Heart comes out in a zone, I think Coach Carly would praise the gods because that gives Fairfield more three-point looks.
It is.
A zone is designed for three-point shots. So, I guess, listen, I'm not in the locker room. I can't say for sure, but I would be a little surprised if Sacred Heart came back out here in a zone.
I'd be surprised, and I think if they were to come out in a zone, I think it's got to be a defend the three-point line, give up the twos.
You're
more
right.
Threes than twos. Obviously, that is what a zone is created for, to kind of force those three-pointers. Also, you can play different types of zones as well.
True.
If you come out in a zone, you kind of have to play a 3-2 at the top because it will guard more of those three-point shooters. A lot of the threes that Fairfield has taken is at the top. Not too many corner threes, so they might be able to get away with it. And Anderson, Lamro, Herder, they're usually at the top anyway. So again, this is where the strategy comes in. You kind of have to go away from what you're used to for both sides, but also Sacred Heart's the team that's down right now, so obviously we're going to focus them on the adjustment.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Basketball is a game of adjustments, as we well know now. Both teams will be making theirs. It's going to be a great second half. I don't know about you. I'm thrilled to see this.
I'm thrilled, man. What a pleasure it is. My main man, Ethan Hudson, Logan Rundy. We're going to make our adjustments as well. 13 minutes on the clock here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. We'll be back when that clock expires. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in 15. Welcome back to Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall here right on the coast of New Jersey here in Atlantic City. Stags lead by 11. I was about to say 15 because that's what it was. About 2 minutes ago, Sacred Heart goes on a mini 4-0 run at the end of the first half to cut into that lead a little bit. Fairfield leads by 11. Stags have been led by Katie Lamro and Megan Anderson. They've combined for 22 out of the 35 Fairfield points. On the other side of things, Kirby and Amelia Wood have combined for 14 of the Sacred Heart 24. We were talking about at the end of the half, Sacred Heart's got to make some defensive adjustments to get back into the ball game. What do you think they're coming out with, Ethan? Zone, man, with different types of man coverages? What do you think?
You know, I would guess different types of man coverages, and depending on who gets hot on Fairfield, maybe even a box and one. We don't know yet.
Box and one, okay.
But I want to say something though. Listen, if you're Sacred Heart, before the game, if you were told Fairfield's going to shoot 52% from the floor, 45% from three, and you'd only be down 11, I think they take that. I really do.
You make a great point. And I think being only down 11 in a place where it's a neutral site, you're not at home, which if you've ever been to Sacred Heart, if anybody's ever been, huge advantage to them, right? Just that environment, the atmosphere, their people, they have a great crowd, great personnel in that arena. And I think being in a neutral site is advantage Fairfield probably more likely than not. And they've done a great job of whenever Fairfield does go on a run, they've just managed the ship a little bit. They haven't gotten down on themselves. They haven't really gone too cold from shooting. They're just, again, staying within their game, and that's been keeping them in it so far.
Yeah, you're right. They haven't played pretty basketball, but they've kept their heads high after every turnover, every missed shot. And that's what you have to do, you know. We say it all the time. The best players have the shortest memories.
The best player in the MAAC, Katie Lamro, will inbound from Jill Herter, will run the point to start it. Lamro is guarded by Nascimento. Herter thought about firing, does not. Gets the screen from Cohen, uses it. Steps back, finds Cohen inside. A little two-woman basketball to start the second half, 37-24.
Love that look from Herter right there to Co. Great left-hand finish.
Nascimento, the first year, who's really grown as the year has gone on, gives it to the veteran Wood. Gets it to Kirby, who's 12 feet from the basket. Now is backed up to the three-point line. Refuses the Dudley screen, now is running out of options. Fairfield, good defense. Sacred Heart not able to get into their offense. 20 seconds into the shot clock. Kirby elevates, good defense by Co to deflect it away. Anderson going to elevate the other way in transition, lays it up and in. Anderson is doing what she does best, running the other way. She's up to 12.
Yeah, and that's great transition basketball by the Stags there. If you're Sacred Heart, you got to get back quicker than that.
Nascimento gives it to the lethal three-point shooter Wood, too strong. Anderson had it for a second, ends up in Johnson's hand, around the back pass to Kirby to lay it in. Again, another punch from Fairfield, punch back from Sacred Heart. Lamro looking to control the point. Anderson has it on the left wing, guarded by Dudley. Back to the center with Hurdy, to the right wing with Coe. 5-out offense. Sydney Scott at the top. Then over to Anderson on the left wing. Ball's hit almost every side of the floor. Lamro up, fake and go. Euro steps inside. Pretty move, everything but the finish. Nascimento going the other way.
$1 million move, 10-cent finish right there.
Got our wordsmith on our hands. Wood, the three-point specialist, kicks it one-handed, deflected by Anderson to get it out. You know, Ethan, they called you a wordsmith, you know, right out the womb. I think I heard it.
That's high praise coming from you.
You know.
That's high praise.
You know. There's a reason you do the analyst stuff. It's just quick, witty, just nice and easy. I can get names down, man. That's it from me, man.
Oh, jeez. You're too nice.
Anyways, back to what we're here for, basketball. Johnson gets it into Kirby. Kirby up to Nascimento, guarded by Lamro at the top. Nascimento, 13 on the shot clock, 8:20 on the game clock. Gets to the Wood, good hands from Sydney Scott. Millie says no hands in the cookie jar. Too strong on the finish, tapped out by Anderson. And unfortunately goes to Nascimento, to Johnson, three-pointer. Almost wedge it again, way too short. Anderson gets another rebound.
And if you're Fairfield, you want to try to minimize those offensive rebounds. Sacred Heart's already got 6. Fairfield has none. That can be factored later in the game.
Kirby flies by. Touch pass to Scott. Too strong after going 6 for 6 in the championship last year. Misses her first attempt tonight. Nascimento going the other way. Has an open look for three. Refuses. Behind the back dribble. Gets to her spot. Elevates on the MAAC logo. Blocked by Lamro, but a foul is called. Lamro will pick up her second personal. Fairfield will pick up their first of the period.
Jeez. Already less than 3 minutes into this game, man. Such energy. I love it. Such energy.
Two teams that, as Ethan mentioned, don't like each other very much. 69.9% free throw shooter is Nascimento. That number has gone up as the year has gotten further. Instead, Nascimento misses the front half. These are points that Sacred Heart needs, especially with no defense. Nascimento trying to play the law of averages and knock in the second, and that is true once more. Anderson to Lamro to get it started for the Fairfield offense. 7:37 remaining, 27-39 in favor of the designated home team. Anderson drives, good defense from Dudley. Thought she got hit, she did not. Nascimento pushes the other way. Kirby, hands up in the air, trying not to pick up a foul on the screen. Nascimento gets their spot, 12 feet from the basket. Dudley, Johnson fakes the pass to Dudley, gets underneath. A little roundabout action. Nascimento thought about the three, got away with a travel, elevates, wild circus shot. Kirby gets it, then another one. Anderson gets the block. Anderson pushes the other way. He's got Scott to her right on the wing. Instead, uses Lamro to her left, elevates from the left wing to short. Lamro tried to follow her on miss, could not get it, then deflects it away from Dudley. Johnson, pinball machine in this madness. They do call it the Gambling City for a reason.
Yes, they do.
Chances being taken by both sides, none successful so far. Kirby handoff to Johnson, working on Herder, kick Nascimento, bounce pass to Kirby, beautiful pass, beautiful finish. One-handed wrap-around pass, gets it inside to Kirby.
It was a beautiful entry right there. That's why she leads the team in assists.
Anderson trying to step through, puts Dudley through a spin cycle, but couldn't finish. Dudley gets the rebound.
Now Sacred Heart can cut this to single digits here. We have a whole new ball game.
Nascimento will lead the charge. Her 15-footer in and out. The rim has not been favorable to her today.
Jeez, this rim, man, is totally unforgiving.
Does have 7 points, but is elevated many times. Herder, spin move, crossover, just everything once again, but the 2 points. Nascimento trying to cut the lead under 10 with halfway through the third period here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Anderson goes for the steal. She gets it, but gets called for the foul.
And I don't think you can call that in a MAAC tournament. And Coach Carley is irate, as she should be.
Both teams do have a challenge. The iPad has been looked at it. Coach Blake Dudonis says that is a foul. Did look at it at the iPad temporarily, said it is a foul. Will be side out for Sacred Heart right across the court here, in line with Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall sign, right in the coach's box of Sacred Heart. Kirby gets out of it, inbounded from Dudley, back screen from Nascimento. She then gets the basketball back, then gets into Dudley. What a fun draw. Unsuccessful, little turnover. Janelle Brown trying to push the other way. Lauren Beach rim running. Has Herder, three-pointer from the top of the key, too short.
I like that look, though. Got to keep shooting that.
Kirby just throws it over the head of Brown, uses her height to her advantage. Nuku trying to cut into the lead for the third time. Next basket for Sacred Heart will cut into the lead. Granted, Fairfield doesn't score. The basket from Nascimento, that won't be it. Her 12-footer misses.
Yeah, and she struggled again this game, just 3 for 10.
Herder trying to go again, this time with a different result, is the exact same result, too short. Herder's got to get those legs underneath her a little bit. Nascimento trying to push the other way. Fourth time's a charm maybe for the Pioneers.
Perhaps.
We will see.
Both teams have gone cold here, both 1 for 7.
Nascimento gets a good screen from Wood. Herder picks her up, elevates, 4-foot floater. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know how that didn't go in.
Wow.
Was halfway down and out. Lauren Beach tracks it down, just bad luck for Nascimento.
Is this rim made of steel or something? I mean, this is, what a move.
Lamro, quad dribble, outside Brown, corner three, and misses it. And the foul will be called the other way on an illegal screen from Katie Lamro. That's a big foul. That will be her third.
Yeah, now she's got to be careful here. She's got to be careful. You said 3 fouls. She's a very pesky, handsy defender, so you don't want to pick up any more unnecessary calls. That
will be the media timeout. A little chaotic here to start the half. Fairfield has just mustered 4 points. Sacred Heart has only mustered 5. Really intense game, and you kind of expected it, right? Both teams' seasons on the line, and I'm honestly thinking it's in the driver's seat for Sacred Heart. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times. They say it throughout sports. Fairfield has done it before, but Sacred Heart is doing everything possible right to not have that happen. And if Sophie Nascimento just got a little luck her way, this is probably a 3-point game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sacred Heart's been getting some great looks, but just not falling. In fact, as you said, the rim, for some reason, has it out against these Pioneers. And I'll tell you, like you said, driver's seat, I think that's true. The energy here for Sacred Heart is definitely different than when they exited this half. Sorry if you can hear that band in the background. Sacred Heart is very loud.
They're good, man. They're good.
They are good. Fairfield, over their last 9 in this quarter. Sacred Heart, they're going to have to use that to their advantage, okay? It's not awesome the Stags are going to go 0 of 9 over the last 9. Got to get some buckets on them.
Very true, man. The Stags really don't go cold from shooting, and if they go cold, they're probably around 30%. It's not that 0 under, right? If you're the Pioneers, right, Sophie Nascimento is 3 of 11 from the floor. However, it doesn't feel like that. If you're one of the members of the coaching staff, you kind of have to motivate her. You just have to tell her to keep shooting because they will fall.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking about these rims last night in the men's game. It felt like shots from Braden Sparks and Lubicic for Manhattan. It was an excellent three-point shooter, just couldn't get one to go. It feels different. I don't know if they are. They probably aren't. But every year it just feels like some shots that go in the regular season just don't go in the postseason.
Right. And every year I'm reminded how big the skill gap is between them and us.
It's big.
It's big.
Probably oceans wide would be my guess. You think? What do you think? We go out there and you shoot. What do you think we shoot? Like, how many points are you putting up?
Man, I'm lucky if I bank one in from 3. That's my only chance, right?
It's a Friday afternoon. They might close early.
Good one.
I definitely wouldn't score any points, I'll tell you that much. That's why I'm up here. 29-39, favor of Fairfield. Fairfield split the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference title with Quinnipiac, who just knocked off Manhattan about an hour and a half ago. They'll play on Sunday in the semifinal. Tomorrow's the 3 through 6 games, so teams will play that all day tomorrow. That's on the men's and the women's side of the tournament. Both women's games will be early on in the day. The first game is at 12. The second game is at 2:30. It'll be the final day that happens. Tomorrow and Sunday will be the 2 final days where we're going to have 4 games, and lucky for us, man, we don't call every game. We just get to enjoy some great basketball here. 4 games a day for 4 days, and what can you ask for?
It's such a privilege. It's such a privilege to be here with you guys, watching some good MAAC basketball, eating some decent food too, except not last night.
No?
Guys, didn't have a great meal last night. Stay away from Pizza Hut and Jim Wayline Boardwalk Hall.
The food in Jersey here in Atlantic City is fantastic, though. I will say that. Nascimento will get us restarted here. Janelle Brown has checked into the ball game for the first time in the half. Amelia Wood stays out there. Beach stays out there with Herder. Allie Campbell checks in, and Katie Lamro stays out there with 3 fouls. Pappas, for her first time in the third quarter, is in as well. She trips and falls. Herder gets called for the foul, unhappy about it. However, Jill Herder will pick up just her first personal.
Yeah, and Jill Herder's left her impact on this game. She's leading the team right now in rebounds and assists. Threes haven't been falling for her, but that's okay. She still finds a way to help her team win. Janelle
Brown playing cornerback, picks it off the other way. She's got Beach. Lollipop pass into her. Right-hand layup is good. Nascimento could not get a hand on it. Stags extend the lead to 12. Nuku, who's been quiet all day, just 2 points and 2 fouls, has been the main ball handler for Coach Minetti's team. Nascimento has been involved as well. Kirby loves that elbow shot. Campbell knows it and guards her well. Kirby trying to go in the post with Campbell. Great defense. Looked like a travel. Herder gets the block instead. Herder pushing 2 on 4 the other day. Decides to pull it out wisely. Had Beach for a second.
I like that pass.
And gets her again. The foul will be called. Lauren Beach back to the charity stripe. Ethan Hudson called that one from a mile away.
That was great by Jill Herder, man. She saw the mismatch Lauren Beach had. Didn't get the and one, but we'll take those foul shots any day of the week.
Lauren Beach back to the line. Stags have been solid from the line, not excellent. They're 6 of 10, 60% on the day. As it goes for Lauren Beach, she's at 76.5% on the season. It's her second visit to the line. Beach fires and knocks him down, a much improved element of her game this year. Pretty much everything on the offensive side has just come in development in the last year after 3 good years. Last year, a little gap in scoring as she misses the second half. Dudley with the rebound, and she's back in the scoring column. Nascimento crosses the timeline against Brown, the tenacious 6-year defender from Middle Island. Brown doesn't want to play her final game. Dudley doesn't want it either. She misses. The other 6th-year Janelle Brown pushes the other way with the rebound. She's got all the space in the world, decides to use her real estate, sell it out to Jill Herder. Brown gets it back again. Lauren Beach working on the smaller Nascimento.
Good
up
kick.
Fake. Anderson on the wing. Herder. Brown a flare screen. Leaves Herder wide open at the top of the key and knocks it down. Jill Herder pulls the strings on the guitar and knocks down a 3.
Like brother, like sister right there, man.
Kevin Herder.
All the Herders can shoot.
Kevin Herder the three-point specialist with the Detroit Pistons, just recently traded from Chicago. Pappas drives inside trying to get some offense going. Anderson will be called.
Yeah, and Sacred Heart haven't scored in the last 3.5 minutes. I really don't think they're playing Fairfield badly, but it's so hard to win when you're shooting 12 for 40 from the field.
12 field goals definitely not get it done. However, free throws can get you back into this ball game. Pappas heads to the line for her first trip. Faith Pappas elevates and knocks down the first one. One of the best parts of Pappas' game is from the free throw line. She hits 3 out of every 4. Can she go 2 for 2 from the charity stripe here? And she does. Successful trip to the line for the Pioneers. They're only down 14. 2 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. Full 30 on the shot clock for the team in white, Fairfield. Bounce pass inside Anderson. Campbell, beautiful cut, elevates, and a traveling violation. That is the correct call.
That is the correct call. She got a little bit excited there. Her mind thought a little too quickly before her feet. That's all right, though. Campbell has experience playing high-level basketball. Obviously, the transfer out of Penn State, Big Ten basketball, is no joke.
Fairfield's had 7 turnovers, uncharacteristic of them. Sacred Heart's got to capitalize if they want to get back in this thing. Pappas trying to do just that. She'll drive off a pass from Missy Nuku. Then kicks it out, Nascimento. Janelle Brown slides her feet well, but Nascimento gets by high off the grass from Nascimento. Could not make it happen. It will stay with the Pioneers. The shot clock does need to be adjusted. It looks like they're going to give them 20 instead of 30, and it has been changed.
I'm surprised we didn't see a whistle there. I saw Jill Herter take a pretty serious whack to the head in that rebound attempt.
I tend to agree with you. Officials letting them play here in the postseason. Amelia Woodgate has it on the right key. And looking for options. She might get a 5-second call here. And a timeout instead from Jessica Minetti.
5-second call was right. How many times do you see that, too? A 5-second call in basketball?
Rare. I'll tell you, I've got a few of them in my high school days.
I was going to say, I could tell you play because you know that.
Yeah, I just was not a dribbler. Could not drive the basketball, but there's a reason I'm not on the floor right now. I'll tell you that much.
Let me tell you, you can pass like no one else, though. I've seen it. You can pass like no one else.
Between me and you, I think so. I've seen that jump shot of yours, though. Not bad. Although me and Ethan can shoot the basketball, the Stags are shooting the basketball extremely well right now. They're at 44%. I wouldn't say that's... I'm going to eat my own words here. It's not extremely well, but it feels like just they're making baskets at the right time. I'm surprised that shooting percentage is not higher. However, I guess a couple of transition turnovers have got Sacred Heart back in it. They're in it, but they got to find a way to make a run, right?
You're right. Sacred Heart's playing their game, too. I mean, we knew that they were a good rebounding team, and they've out-rebounded Fairfield 31-20 total. And guess what? Fairfield has no offensive rebounds. Sacred Heart has 8. So they're playing their brand of basketball, but as you said, it's impossible to win when you can't put the ball through the hoop. And let's be honest, right now they couldn't throw a ball into the ocean, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just been a tough shooting day for them so far. And Fairfield is one of the worst shooting teams in the conference this year. They're in the bottom half of that, and it's something they've been emphasizing for the last couple of weeks here. Can we rebound? Something they actually lost in last weekend against Sacred Heart as well. It's amazing because the team on the men's side, really good rebounding team.
Excellent rebounding team. You got to talk about Brandon Benjamin, Booker Fenig.
Just you would think it would spread through the campus. It does not, though.
Something in the water, I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, just something in the water in that men's water. It's a little bit different here. I would say, though, probably the shooting's a little better on this side of the coin. So, again,
probably a little bit, yeah.
Just, God's filled the glass a little bit differently for both teams. And I think you got to find a way if you're Fairfield to get some rebounds. You just haven't done it well in the season, but to win tournaments and to win championships, it's just simple. It's defense, rebounding. They can score. That's never going to be a problem, right? You just got to do the intangibles and do what the other team is good at to take them out of the game.
Absolutely. I think these last 2 minutes are going to be, I think we're going to look back at these last 2 minutes after the outcome of this game and see this is either Fairfield distance the gap, keeps their foot on the gas pedal, or this is where Sacred Heart says, all right, our season's on the line here. We got to find a way to get some buckets.
Yeah. Love that. What do the kids say now? Clock it? Like clock it, right? Yeah. Mark it here. Ethan Hudson said it with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third period. And any jump ball, Sacred Heart will take the possession. Stags lead by 14, 45-31. And just the energy here on a Friday afternoon has been excellent. Both teams going back and forth. Cheers and dance squad going to the Cotton Eye Joe right now. What a fun environment it is, especially for the kids. Both schools are on spring break this week, to have to sacrifice some of their time and be here in Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall to make this experience as good as possible for everyone involved. Credit to them, credit to the coaching staff, credit to our crew as well. Andrew Jameson, Kyle Scannell took the call last night, and guess what? They're going to be back at it tonight. Fairfield men got a good win last night against Manhattan, double-digit win as well. Coach Casey, Chris Casey, that is, was very satisfied. However, Brandon Benjamin, Tony Williams, Braden Sparks said, we're here for more. We don't want one win. We came for all of them. They're looking to try to get an upset tonight against St. Peter's. ESPN Analytics has St. Peter's favored in that game, about 55-43.
That game is going to be a dogfight. Everyone should tune into that one.
That's
that one's going to be a premier game.
We got two great broadcasters. Ethan and I are going to enjoy that game.
Yes, we will.
From the seats, along mirror writer Danny McElroy. He'll be involved as well. But back in action here. Nascimento got to get the ball in quick, really close to that 5-second call once again. Nuku, inside-out dribble, driving on Herder. Beautiful move, and the basket. Nuku goes to the line to try to finish the three-point play. One of Jessica Manetti's strengths, out of timeout plays. What a beautiful move and finish by Nuku.
Yeah, that was a great draw. But if you're Jill Herder, if you get beat like that, just let him go. Just let him go. Don't try to get back into the play because you risk what she just did, giving up a three-point opportunity.
Substitutions for Fairfield. Cyan Coe will check in alongside Lamro. Campbell and Herder will check out. Herder will not check out. Lauren Beach will check out. Missy Nuku, 71.4% free throw shooter. The southpaw elevates and gets every part of the iron and cannot knock it down. Lamro calling for that cyclo play, but Coe gets it in the post. What coordination through, no foul. Excellent straight-up defense from Dudley.
That was great D by Dudley. She did not fall for the step through this time.
Pappas gets it to Nascimento. Pappas goes through. Nascimento looking to control the point. Instead gives it to the senior, Amelia Wood. Elevates from 6 feet. Her floater just hits every part of the rim and gets no points out of it. Unlucky from the Pioneers. Herder trying to get one to fall herself over the head of Nuku guarding Brown. Brown looking for options. Anderson trying to go to work herself on Pappas, giving her about 2 feet of space. Able to get into the lane. Anderson's going to elevate, steps through, left-handed, opposite hand shot is good. Just too much space for Anderson to operate.
I mean, Meg Anderson just took out your do-it-yourself kit right there. Left-handed finish. Finally, one of the rolls we've seen that does go in. Tough guard.
Feels like we're painting the rim, both teams. Some are going, just the difference in the game is it's going down for Fairfield as Coe's aggression gets her. She's going foot race. Dudley, Coe gets to the spot. Foul on. Cyan Coe puts the hammer down on Dudley.
Coast to coast right there. Wow. She handles the ball so well for her size. We saw her. She is nimble. We saw her jump into that passing lane.
Oh, man. Look at that. Dudley got to the spot first. Coe elevated and gives out a roar.
Yeah. I mean, Logan, I thought I was fast. I don't know, man. That was pretty quick reflexes by Cyan Coe.
You're pretty quick.
Thank you.
You can run it. I'd love to see a foot race.
Yeah.
Coe, 37.5% free throw shooter, trying to finish off that pretty play and push Fairfield to 50 points, and does just that. 55.6 seconds remaining. Sacred Heart needs to throw a punch back before the conclusion of the third quarter. Johnson carries it across. Wood at the top. Nuku is away from the basketball along with Pappas. Coe gets another steal. She's going one-on-one with Wood. Instead, slows it down this time. Shovel pass. Anderson, Lamro. How about one more? Lamro gets inside. Right hand. Good. It is pretty from the Stags right now. A 19-point advantage in a crazy run for their last 5 field goals to end the quarter.
And we talked about Sacred Heart making those last 2 minutes count. Well, now the lead's almost 20 points. Desperation time, unfortunately, for the Pioneers.
Second and a half separates the game and the shot clock. Game clock about to get down to 10. The shot clock already gets there. Herder steals it away, throws it off Pappas. Momentum shifter from Jill Herder.
Jill Herder, she's just such a such a cerebral basketball player. The mindset to deflect the ball and then catch it, grab it, chuck it off the opposing player's foot. Can't teach that. You really just can't.
Anderson inbounds with 6.5 on the shot clock. 6, 5. Lamro crossover at 3, 2. Elevates at 1, fouled and misses the shot. I think if she made it, the house would have came down.
I might have not been able to contain myself. I might have jumped on the court. Wow, look at this. 19-point game already.
19-point game, a game that has been double digits the entire second half. Smallest lead in the half for Fairfield was 10. Sacred Heart not able to get it down. First of 2 for Lamro. Knocks it in. Lamro looking to go perfect from the charity stripe. Sacred Heart had 4 opportunities to cut it to 9 or less, did not do so, and now the lead is 21.
Yeah, and that's a 9-0 run for Fairfield in those last minute and a half. Exactly the opposite of what Sacred Heart needed.
2-1. Nuku fires a prayer. Not a bad attempt, actually. About 3 feet short. And the Pioneers, instead of finding themselves down 11, they find themselves down 21. What a momentum shift that end of the third quarter was in favor of the Stags.
Yeah, and just being a realist here, 21-point deficit in the fourth quarter, that's steep. Okay, that's steep. In the MAAC tournament especially, as I said just a couple minutes earlier, this is desperation time for Sacred Heart. Whatever you got to put it on the floor now, because if you don't, you're not going to play again. That's
true. 21 points is steep, but not impossible. We've seen some crazy things happen last year. Big comeback in the fourth quarter against Fairfield's men's basketball team a couple years ago. St. Peter's came down from double digits. 21, tall mountain to climb, though, especially with the shooting percentages. After starting 75% in the first 5 minutes, they're down to 30. What a step-up game it has been from Janelle Brown, Katie Lamro, Cyan Coe giving them some energy at the end of the quarter. People that have needed to step up in this tournament, that had a lot of pressure on them, have. Now it's time for Sacred Heart's Emma Kirby, Sophie Nascimento, Missy Nuku, Amelia Wood. Those 4 leaders got to step up, even though the deficit is so steep.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, listen, we know Sacred Heart's going to play the rest of these 10 minutes hard, because it really is life or death for them. But you have to be thinking in the huddle. Coach Minetti is trying to find some way, somehow, to get her team get some baskets here.
Indeed, try to get the offense rolling. The team that does not win this game will not get an auto bid. The MAAC will more than likely only have 1 team from either side, the men's and the women's side. Just usually the winner. Fairfield can make the argument for an outright bid. Would be a tough one, but it could happen. Only way I see that happening is on Monday. Say they make the championship and lose, they may be able to get a little bid there. Other than that, Fairfield is the only team that is eligible for an outright bid or even considered. Ranked 25 in the country, getting some love after that 23-24 season where they were ranked a couple of years ago. Came into this tournament ranked that year as well. Won the tournament, went into Indiana, and it was not pretty, I will tell you that.
It was not.
It was a 30-point loss. Last year they came into the tournament as the 1 seed, able to struggle through a couple of games. Then in the championship, coming to beat Quinnipiac by double digits, went on to Kansas State. That game wasn't pretty either. However, 3rd time's a charm possibly. Could be a different year, we'll see. Although I will say, some of the teams in this conference are giving them a run for their money. 2 at the top especially. Quinnipiac, who won the conference off of tiebreakers. Scary basketball team, as we mentioned a couple of times. We just watched them play. They dominated for a large portion of that game. In addition to that, new team in the conference who joined at the same time Sacred Heart did. MAAC has come back with a year. Their coach has won Coach of the Year for her first time.
Yeah, they've had
just 2 seasons.
A magical season, too. Super, super impressive. Just how quickly the turnaround is for some of these programs. It's unheard of.
Stags have a lot of resistance this year, differentiating from years past. Sacred Heart trying to make a huge upset here, down 21 to start the quarter. Johnson, Dudley on the right wing, Coe, Anderson guarded on that far wing as well. Johnson trying to drive inside. 10-9, Nuku lays it up with 8 and finishes, cuts the lead down to 19.
To start.
Janelle Brown trying to be in there for some senior presence and calm. Anderson drives right in, trying to counter, and does. Anderson's been unstoppable so far.
She just has such great touch around the rim, great body control.
Wood's going to step up here, some of that senior leadership, trying to not play her final game of basketball. She'll graduate after this year. Johnson, right hand. Teams have traded 6 straight points, 4 to the visiting team.
So if you're Sacred Heart, you're scoring, but you can't afford to trade baskets, not when you're down this big.
No trading baskets means a stop on this end. Von Fleet has checked in for her second stint. Anderson, Brown. Anderson launches the three. Quick possession. Coe looked for it. Got a good hand on it. Could not corral it. Anderson, Von Fleet, Sydney Scott, Mega Anderson, Cyan Coe, Janelle Brown.
Ooh.
It's going to be defensive foul on Brown. That looked painful, but it was true defensive foul. For Coach Minetti, you got Wood, Johnson, who was the one that corralled to the floor, Missy Nuku, Elise Dudley as we get the replay. Just an unfortunate collision. That was a foul on Janelle Brown.
That looked a little painful, I won't lie.
Yeah, I'd be down for the count. There's no doubt about it.
Janelle's a warrior, though. Tougher than me, that's for sure.
Janelle Brown trying to not play her final 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Looks good right now. 19-point advantage to the home team. Officials are conferring about it to see if they're going to go to the monitor. Looked more coincidental than anything, and they are going to review it. Not necessarily a challenge. It is an official's review to look at the play. We saw a second look at it here in the arena. It kind of looked more coincidental than anything. The problem for Fairfield is they called it on Brown. For Sacred Heart, I guess advantage to you. You have an extra possession here. You're going to get some time added to the shot clock with 22 seconds. Again, this is good stuff. They're up 2 in the quarter. Obviously, you're going to have a massive quarter if you are the Pioneers, but it's a good start if you're Coach Minetti's team.
It is a good start. I mean, it's just a sign of life, putting the ball in the basket. As you said, though, there's a lot more to it than that. Going to have to somehow contain Fairfield on the offensive end. As we see now.
Tough challenge.
Tall, yes, for sure. Tall challenge.
Not a lot of teams, especially in this conference, have been able to do it over the last few years. Quinnipiac is one of those teams that beat them on their home floor a couple of months ago at the end of January. I will say the MAAC is back and better than ever. It has been probably the most competitive year on both sides, I would say, and probably our time here. Ethan and I are juniors here, so probably in all 3 years, pretty much in the first year, Fairfield on the women's side rolled right through it. Then that was the big upset year. St. Peter's won that when Fairfield the men were a 2 seed that year. Last year was pretty much dominated by Fairfield once again. Then Mount St. Mary's came from a 6 seed last year, won this tournament after a year dominated by Quinnipiac. Just a crazy postseason. I swear, as soon as we drive into Atlantic City, things get real wild around here, man.
Something in the air. Things immediately. There's nothing you can guarantee. Nothing you can bet on, ironically, in a betting city.
You would think, right? You think you get a little gambler's luck, but yesterday, all the support squads, and so dance, cheer, and our radio team drove in what looked like a movie in the fog last night. Around 6 o'clock, we got in here for an 8:30 start. Huge credit to all the people that make this thing possible. President Mark Nemec, Zach Dayton. A lot of our SIDs are here as well. Paul Schlickman's in the building, our President of Athletics, is here. 2 SIDs are here for both programs. Drew Kingsley, the Men's Sports Information Director, and then sitting at the table, Ivy Spate, huge contributor, to a lot of our success. Dave Brzezinski watching back in Fairfield, huge contributor to all of our logistical needs. Shout out to the band for letting us kind of share the bus with them. They've been great the last couple of years as well. A lot of fun. Both teams here for Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart, as we mentioned, they travel in bunches. They came in here on Wednesday because they played yesterday afternoon. Saw some of those buses actually pass the university as I was walking the other day, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I did not think. You just saw a parade of like 4 buses just past the school, which is kind of crazy. Don't know if it was at the tournament. It's probably a good bet, though.
It's a good bet. I'd say it's a safe bet.
Amelia Wood, Faith Pappas in the game. Dudley. Nascimento is not in the game. Nuku is in there instead, and Johnson. Anderson, Cyan Coe, Sydney Scott, Milu Von Fleet, and the 60-year Janelle Brown are in there for Fairfield. 8 minutes, 44 seconds remaining. Janelle Brown will pick up the foul. Just been confirmed by our officials at the scorer's table. Brown will pick up her 3rd personal. 22 seconds on the shot clock, 8:44 on the game clock. Johnson able to bounce it into Dudley. Johnson gets the handoff. Anderson picks up a cheap foul. Not one she was looking for. That'll be her 3rd to go along with 16 points.
If you're Fairfield, you don't want to give up too many of these, pointless cheap fouls, because sooner or later, Sacred Heart gets into the bonus. Free throws, game gets a little closer than you'd like.
There is a path to victory for Sacred Heart, no doubt about it. Stags are allowing them to walk that path right now. Nuku drives past Brown. Another block by Anderson. That's her 2nd.
Jeez, man, she's been She has the Intimidator badge in the paint for sure.
A little 2K reference for two guys that grew up on that game.
Yes.
Dudley looking for options. Nuku is the only option available and will get the basketball right on the Air Force Reserve logo, one of the sponsors of the tournament. Hard screen from Dudley. It is a good one, though. She rolls off Brown.
Wow,
elevates.
What a pass.
What a pass, what a finish. Little two-woman basketball. Sacred Heart cuts in the lead. 17 now is the advantage for the Stags. Handoff with Cove. Reaches over Anderson. Wasn't there. Good defense by Johnson. Right at the top to Nellie Brown. Over to the left wing with Sydney Scott. Looked for Cyan Cove. Did not find her. Overhead pass. Scott hesitated, then actually decided to throw it. Probably should have kept the basketball in the hands. Fairfield will turn it over for the 8th time.
Yeah, Scott immediately looks at Megan Anderson and says, that one's on me. Great accountability by the senior.
Two guards now in the game. Missy Nuku, Sophie Nascimento are now in there together as the tandem. Dudley has it on the Jim Whelan boardwalk call sign, right about 30 feet from the basket. Nascimento looking for the DHO, does not find it. Guarded well by Von Fleet, the first-year student. Step back, not Nuku, excuse me. Wood drives instead, elevates, and just got everything but the finish once more. Everything but the rim included.
You're right. You can't, on a look like that, Woods, you cannot be airmailing a layup. 7 minutes to go in a tournament game.
Coe gets it. Beautiful shovel pass to Von Fleet, and she misses the layup as well.
That was a great look by Coe, though. Great little banana cut by Von Fleet right there.
Yeah, and that's almost like a Mario Kart move. Boom.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little cut inside. I like that.
It's another game we grew up on.
Oh, yeah, man. We're getting old, man. Logan Rundy alongside the main man Ethan Hudson here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. 7 minutes, 24 seconds remaining. Cyan Coe gets the inbound pass. Trying to go to work in her area. It's been her zone all day, and it's not going to continue that way as Dudley plays good defense. She's figured her out as the night has gone on. Nascimento, one-handed pass to Wood. Nuku working on Anderson. Just straight speed inside, loses it, and it looked like Anderson got hit in the head on the extension.
She might have caught an elbow there, yeah. See Beach coming in.
Lamro Beach will check in for Brown and Anderson.
Yeah.
She probably will be a short rest for Anderson at least. Maybe Brown will see her again. Nuku will be the inbounder. 5-on-5 box in one. Looks like it's going to be a challenge on the out of bounds.
Yes.
I thought Nuku was the last one to touch it.
Well, it did look like that, you're right. And I saw Blake, Coach Blake for Fairfield, Dudanis.
This will be a challenge on the timeout. I believe they are going to win it as well, granted something crazy happening. Each team does get a challenge here in the tournament and in NCAA basketball. That's the same on both sides of the bracket. We saw one last night from Manhattan. They won that challenge. Fairfield's been pretty successful in challenges this year, especially at home.
Yeah.
Fairfield crowd definitely helps out with that. They've traveled pretty well. Got a couple of the family members on the far side. Fairfield usually takes the other side of the space right behind the bench. I had to guess probably about 35 to 50 fans that have traveled that long way. It's about a 3-hour drive with no traffic. Asterisk.
With no traffic.
And then put in parentheses, always traffic.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully, women's and men's team, hopefully we're traveling back late night, so there's no traffic for those championship games.
Hopefully traveling back with some hardware, too. Yeah.
Oh, man, some hardware would be nice. You think we get any?
Probably, right?
Yeah, I think we deserve some, right?
Come on.
Fairfield men's basketball looking to play again tonight. They're going to have that tall task in beating that St. Peter's team that just shoots the lights out of the ball. Fairfield, good shooting night last night. One of those games that they haven't had in a while, especially last Sunday against Mount St. Mary's, was shooting in the 30s.
Yeah, listen, when the Fairfield men can shoot the rock, they're a really tough team to beat. Really tough.
Are you kidding? They are. If Braden Sparks is able to get it going, you get Benjamin Wooker-Fenning on the glass, man, they are tough to beat.
I was really impressed with Williams, the freshman, last night. I think he's come so far at the beginning of the season till now. He had, 3 for 3 from something from three-point range? He was great.
And they were deep threes, too, man.
They were.
Oh,
they were
man.
deep.
We had the pleasure of watching last night. Here comes the call from the officials.
Logan, you called it.
Successful challenge from Blake Dudanis. He's pumped up.
Yes. Oh, wow. Some emphatic high fives right now on the Fairfield bench.
That iPad lives right underneath Coach Blake Dudanis. That is a winning challenge. That means they will retain the challenge as well. You get 2 total challenges if you win the first. And that might be the decider. We will see. 7 minutes remaining. Lamro's checked back in. Her minutes have actually been pretty low, able to give her some rest. Von Fleet up to Coe at the top. Not a three-point shooter, so she will not elevate. Look, fought Lauren Beach. Good point out about Ethan Hudson. Did not give it to her. Coe looking to work in her area. Step through. Decides not to this time. Von Fleet, right wing.
I like to see Sydney Scott look for her shot a little bit here.
Scott's just missed those couple. Lamro elevates with a left hand, offhand, and finishes. Nice, pretty move by Katie Lamro. She's been quiet the second half, but up to 16 for the game.
You're right, she has been more quiet, but geez, that was a great left-handed little baby hook.
One of those elements to her game that's drastically improved. Nuku trying to counter, kicks it out. Nascimento got Lamro in the air, but traveled.
Yeah, you've seen that a couple times. I think it might just be a mental thing. You know, players are excited. This is an intense environment. Their mind gets sped up.
You think when they see him like that real quick, defensive player of the year, boom,
I mean,
got to travel now.
I
right?
would. I'd be shivering in my boots if I saw Katie Lamro run at me full speed.
16 points in defensive player of the year. Pretty hard to counter against. Lauren Beach on the right wing three-point line. Lamro pops out and will receive the basketball. Inside to Coe working on Dudley. Back to the basket for Coe. Good cut from Lamro. Doesn't see her. Brings in the defender. Coe trying to elevate over her foul. Could not convert. And Coe will head back to the charity stripe where she split the two today.
I love when she's aggressive in the post. She's so strong too. She's got a really good basketball body. Hard to guard.
Real hard to guard, especially with that improved layup package down low. Allie Campbell will check in for the first year. Milou Von Fleet. She gave good minutes on the defensive side of the basketball. This is the area for Coe where she's got to elevate either at the end of this year or going into her third year. Touches every part of the iron, bounces off the backboard, and lands in the basket. Just been that type of night for the Stags.
Yes, it has.
Coe trying to go a perfect 2 of 2. Elevates. Too good to be true. I just need to stop talking, I think.
No, and I will stay here, I think,
it's right? Stay here. How about that? Amelia Wood just couldn't corral it. Stays here. Great effort by Lauren Beach.
Yeah, you can sense now Sacred Heart's starting to look a little deflated.
That fatigue you mentioned a little bit earlier is starting to set in. They played yesterday, just about 24 hours ago. And that...
Hey, Lamro run wide receiver routes out here.
The former flag football player cashes one in, three-pointer. Katie Lamro has been excellent so far. She's up to 21. Katie Lamro trying to be player of the game as well, trying to win more awards than anybody ever has before, it feels like. Yes. Nascimento trying to answer. And in and out, just been that type of night. Nascimento has just struggled from the floor. She's now 3 of 13.
I have to say, I feel for the freshman. I mean, listen, how many shots of hers have touched every part of the rim?
Coe takes Dudley to the dance floor, takes her to tango, and wins it. 2 points for Cyan Coe. Nuku just trying to battle here at the end of this game, try to make something happen. Pretty much out of reach at this point, as it's now 25-point advantage for the Coe MAAC champions. Nellie Brown will come back, as well as Von Fleet. Emma Kirby checks in after a short time on the bench. She'll go get Faith Pappas. 5 minutes remaining, 25-point advantage for Fairfield. This time, Sacred Heart can only really hold on for a half and change after holding on for 3 quarters last weekend.
Yeah, you're right. I think like you just said, too, playing back-to-back days, it's always a tough thing. Intense basketball, it's hard on the body.
Lauren Beach trying to operate with the handsy Nuku, and the foul is called. Lauren Beach will head back to the charity stripe. 76% free throw shooter. Got to give a lot of credit to the Pioneers. They've shown out pretty good.
They have.
Their men are still in the tournament. They'll play later on tonight. They'll play at 6:30, so they'll be back here. Nice quick turnaround for them.
Yep, their men have some very talented players. And Quan Hill, first team All-MAAC this year.
And Quan Hill's in the building, man. He is an absolute beast.
Not sure I like him first team over Braden Sparks, but you know what? I don't make decisions. It's above my pay grade. I'm
going to be honest with you. I thought the same thing. Braden Sparks, still a good award. All-MAAC second team. Yeah. Well, he was one of the top scorers in the conference. As you can tell, we don't go to Fairfield. We're not associated with them. Just kidding. Fairfield radio here is Von Fleet. Guards Kirby down low. Does get the foul and the basket. Some positivity for Sacred Heart. That'll push him over 40 points and push the game to 23.
Yeah, like you said, that's at most a little bit of a morale booster, but a little too late it seems now. 23-point game, under 5 to play. Stags looking like they will, in fact, advance.
Kirby elevates, and that is good. Von Fleet will inbound to Brown. She pushes it the other way. 22-point advantage to Fairfield. Sydney Scott's only taken 2 shots tonight. Been very conservative, but also very effective. Nascimento gets a steal on a great defensive play, picking off Scott's pass. As soon as I said it, that was my fault. Nuku trying the straightaway 3. Hits everything but the basket, and the foul will go on Sydney Scott underneath.
Fairfield foul number 25, Sydney Scott.
As we were mentioning Sacred Heart, they're going to play the number 1 seed a little bit later on today. They face off against Joe Gallo, Coach of the Year, and that feisty MAAC team.
What a run they've been on.
Holy, it's been fun.
Yes.
Lauren Beach knocks it away. Not a great pass from Nuku. They'll be side out, right in front of that Sacred Heart bench. Men's conference and their bracket is popcorn.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
Tomorrow afternoon will be all the 3 through 6 seeds. Right now we're focused on the 2 and the 7 here on the women's side. Kirby getting inside, handoff, Nascimento. Brown will pick her up on the switch. Nascimento falls. Brown goes over the back. Good defense just to put one hand in there. Jump ball will favor Sacred Heart, so it will stay here. Just so much intelligence from Brown.
Exactly, and I love that Fairfield's up 22 right now, and we're still getting on loose balls, and we're still diving on the floor.
Tenacity, the grit never falters. Nuku, the inbounder, Dudley stepped on the end line. It's just another great momentum play, this time by the freshman Von Fleet.
Yeah, and that's the 17th turnover by Sacred Heart. Again, we talked about turnovers in the pregame here. That would be important. I think they definitely have this game. Turnovers are just so costly in the MAAC tournament.
So costly in the MAAC tournament. Pair that with a 33% shooting percentage. Not a good recipe for success against the team, as ultra successful in the transition and off turnovers. Campbell. Beach on the right wing, looking for Brown, steps out, flashes, thought about the three-pointer, uses the Beach screen, then refuses, drives inside, left-hand layup, is good. Janelle Brown just feeling it here on this Friday afternoon.
So happy for her. So happy for her that she can get some confidence seeing that ball go through the hoop.
Coach Minetti calling their elbow plays, simply just 2 screens right at the elbow, as the name implies. Kirby. Dudley trying to play ring around the rosy, carries the basketball and thought she got away with it. She did not.
Yet another turnover.
A couple of substitutions. Sierra Johnson will check in for Nascimento. You would think Nascimento's night is done. Christina Pham will check in for the senior Lauren Beach. Pham, one of the best players in Massachusetts last year at Noble Greenboro. 1,000-point scorer, Boston native. Has been a great addition for the Stags, especially in the three-point shooting.
Yeah, she's a bright future.
Speaking of three-point shooting, Sydney Scott stringing them together. She knocks down her first basket. Excuse me, Ethan, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
no,
holy.
Please, always interrupt me when Sydney Scott hits a 3. Wow.
Pretty much out of reach here. 27-point advantage. That's 9 of those three-pointers that Sacred Heart's got to get back somehow, some way with 3 minutes remaining. Johnson, no options except Wood. Wood thought about the three-pointer. Shoots it from the MAAC logo, which is about 8 feet from the basket, and knocks it down. Still some positivity from Sacred Heart. They're not faltering. Give them credit there.
Nope, they're in the play till the last horn, as they should.
Brown sets a good screen for Campbell, frees her up a little bit. Then she gets open herself. Thought about the 3, then finds Pham, who just couldn't control the pass. Not a great one. Skip pass over to Campbell.
That look.
Campbell's got a free lane, just didn't see it. Pham elevates with 9 on the shot clock. Her first shot is off. Good rebound by Wood. Got to go quick if you're Sacred Heart. Nuku crosses the timeline. Coach Minetti wants him to go quick. Brown puts her hand in the cookie jar. Looked like she got some body with that, and I believe that'll be her final play. As Kiara Gregory is ready to go, and it will be her final play, at least in this game. Kiara Gregory, redshirt first year.
Huge smile from Janelle Brown and Coach Carly right there.
Brown checks out above her average. She scored 8 points with the average of 6.5 on the season. Kiara Gregory, the redshirt first year from Pickering, Ontario, a Canadian native, one of 2. Julia Carpel, one of the best three-point shooters in New Jersey a couple years ago, set to check in on the second free throw. Her mom, Dawn, up for Coach of the Year in New Jersey this year.
Basketball family.
Oh, big basketball family. St. John Vianney, excuse me for the pronunciation there. One of the best schools, not only in New Jersey, but in the country. They were ranked 25th when she was there, so one of the best scorers on that team as well. Look for her to shoot them three-pointers. Gregory, the first year's got out at the top of the key, guarded by Wood. Bounce pass into the freshman Von Fleets. Looking to go in the post against the smaller Nuku. Elevates with the right hand. Got everything but the finish. Kirby gets the rebound. We're under 2 minutes to play here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Nuku looking for options. The southpaw looking to go inside, spin around to her left hand, does that scoop layup, and a traveling violation was called by the far official.
Wow. That's Sacred Heart, man. Just nothing can go right. Nothing can go right for them right now.
Give them a lot of credit, man. Second year, getting back to this point, but you're right. Just nothing can go right, and just one of those days for the Pioneers. As we mentioned, at least they're going to have another team in the tournament. They'll stick around. Carpel looking to shoot that three. She is a southpaw, though, so here on the right wing, got to adjust that body. Pham over to Campbell, who shoots the three. Too strong. Carpel going for the rebound, and it will be last touched by her, and the foul's going to be called first. Looks like that's going to go on Carpel for the hit in the face. Nuku holding the nose. Got hit pretty good. Good intensity, though, by the Stags.
I like this group out for the Stags. I like how Coach Carly's giving people some minutes. Don't always get minutes.
Not only that, it also gives your starters and your key players some rest as well. With 89 seconds remaining here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall on a little cold, a little foggy day outside on this Friday afternoon. It's supposed to be pretty warm tomorrow, getting up in the 60s. We'll see if that actually happens.
I'm looking forward to that.
Nuku first will get it. Because Fairfield is going to look like they're going to win this one. They will play on Sunday. If the men win tonight, they will also play on Sunday. That means you'll hear from us on Sunday as well. We will have the whole Fairfield program will have the day off. Carpel looking for options after a great 50-foot pass from Kiara Gregory. Campbell on the right wing gets it to Pham. There's 4 3-point shooters in the game right now for Fairfield. Gregory, one-handed pass. Pham, one more. Carpel, how about another one to Von Fleet in the corner? Too strong, but great ball movement from the Stags bench players. Nuku trying to transition the other way. We got 60 seconds remaining here at Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall. Wood trying to get her final basket to go. She's got it, 3 points. Amelia Wood, that might be the final basket of her career, and my goodness, it's been a good one.
Yes, it has. She deserves all the flowers she gets. Helped transform this program at Sacred Heart.
Absolutely has. From the 2 NEC championships to competing here in the MAAC, she's left a good footprint on this program. Pham inside to Von Fleet. On the pass, Gregory looking to elevate and fire. Corner three and too strong. Amelia Wood looking to take it the other way with half a minute remaining. Shot clock has not been turned off. There's 4 seconds that separate the two. Both teams will play it straight up. Johnson, Pappas working on the freshman Pham. Pappas trying to get a basket herself, and the foul will be called. Pappas will head to the charity stripe, trying to put a nice ending to this game for the Pioneers.
That's her second personal. The team is over the limit.
Pappas, the Long Valley, New Jersey native, and the Fordham transfers came here over to Sacred Heart this year. 75% from the charity stripe, not seeing the first one.
These free throws will, at most, help to, at least from a look standpoint, diminish the game a little bit. Fairfield cutting that lead a little bit. 16-point game instead of a 21-point game.
Looks like the Stags will just dribble out the clock here. No press from the Pioneers. Fairfield faithful. Those hands are coming together, and they're on their feet. An emphatic victory, 69-53, and they're just going to run out the clock. Final game for those Sacred Heart seniors. What a season it's been for them. Congratulations on a great career and a transition here into the MAAC from the NEC a couple of years ago. But the Stags were just too much to handle so far today, and they're moving on to Sunday to face in the semifinal against the winners from tomorrow's game. Looks like the odds are that it would be Merrimack. However, again, some crazy stuff's happened in this tournament.
Yeah, some crazy stuff really does. Like you said, a handful of the Stags are Sacred Heart. You got to applaud their effort, as we did the whole broadcast. They played to the last horn. They did their job rebounding. At the end of the day, man, if you can't score, you can't win. Unfortunately, that's just how it is.
Yeah, end of the day, with only 19 field goals made, 35% from the floor. But you're right, Ethan. The big one was 19 turnovers here. More turnovers, and they matched it with those shots made as well. That's just never a winning recipe for success. But at the same time, got to give Fairfield a lot of credit. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times. We're going to be able to get to talk to Coach Carly Thibault Dudonis, give you guys some information. And guess what, man? We'll be back here on Sunday afternoon. We'll be here with you guys at least. Maybe we'll get 2 on Sunday afternoon tonight. We'll see. Ethan, I got to ask, man, in order to continue to progress in this tournament, what do the Stags got to do better, and what can they continue to do well?
Well, you know what, they continue to play together. I mean, that's been the message all year, right? Unity. They're a unit. There's no mean team. Again, you say what can they do better? I think honestly the best thing they can do is take each game one game at a time. And I know that sounds cliche, but you can't get too high on this win. You can't get too low. You have to stay at this kind of this bobbing ship, right? Neutral waters. That's going to help them three-peat in this MAAC tournament.
Indeed, got to part the seas here a little bit. Got to find a way to make it happen, right? Fairfield, a lot of pressure to keep winning this tournament. They are the favorites to win the tournament as well, even though Quinnipiac Bobcats are the #1 seed. It's an interesting dynamic, it really is. But as soon as you get ranked and you're 25 in the country, there's pressure to win at any game of the year.
Of course. And Fairfield knows they have a target on their back for sure. No one except us wants to see a three-peat here.
Absolutely. Had a target on the back for sure. They get the win, though, 69-53. Stay with us. We're done for now, but give us a few hours. We'll be back at around 8:20. Call it. It won't be us. It will be the other guys. Be Kyle Scannell, Andrew Jamison will give you the men's coverage from tonight as they take on the #2 seed and lethal shooting team, St. Peter's University.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a fun one to watch, man.
Yes.
Maybe we'll jump on here. Maybe we'll jump on social media. Maybe give a little bit of insight. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Ethan, man, what a pleasure it's been, brother. It always is. We're going to get a whole weekend out of this, which is fun. Another call on Sunday with us. For the women's side of things, the way it's going to work, we're going to get the women's side of things. Those two guys I just mentioned are going to get the men's side of things. Supposedly, we may mix some things up. We'll see. But at least for now, that's how it's going to roll, man. Sound good?
Sound great.
Hey, man, we'll see y'all back on Sunday. Thank you all for listening here at WVOF 88.5. We'll see you guys at 8:30. Andrew Jamison, Kyle Scannell on the call.